the speaker box loud, hitting that stuff till you hearing that sound.
You know, see, I can see the level.
This one's not bad. When we get
Yeah, we were doing this like whip comp thing. I got him, covered.
Hey, Scott, we don't have a TV on here. Here, Jack Rapella, Nick Garvin here with you. So excited, so pumped up.
Unfortunately for 77, he got the flu this week. This off-road stuff is the hardest I've ever encountered to set a bike up for.
Here we go. Gate drop. We are off, guys. The NGPC series is underway.
You have to push yourself. This track will, and it can jump up and bite you in a split second, and you're on the ground going, what happened? So, and the roost here hurts, so you don't want to follow too closely. I would add one more to that. I would add that you have to have luck, and with racing, sometimes I'd rather be lucky than good.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, your winner of round number 4. How about a Jeremy McGrath knack-knack? How about a checkered flag? A Buffalo magnificent performance for Ryan Surratt. Put him down in the history books. The factory KTM looking smooth. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to your winner, round number 5. For the first time ever, Dante Oliveira wins 29 Palms. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, unofficially, your winner today, Cole Martinez. Did we say never give up? If there has ever been a lesson about perseverance, if there has ever been a lesson about sticking to it on the last few turns, hello, everybody, and welcome to round number 4 of the NGPC series, presented to you by Rocky Mountain ATV MC, hosted by Desert MC and Grassroots, presented to you by FMF. Thanks so much as we take a look at this beautiful racing facility. So many storylines, so much to get excited about as we get ready for what should be an absolute thriller here in Open Pro. It will be 90 minutes. My name, of course, is Jack Rapella. A pleasure to be joined with a true legend, Mr. Jim Bones Bacon of Pro Circuit fame. Great to see you, man. I got to ask you right away, what's the setup for this track? It seems like it's going to throw a little bit of something at everybody.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy because you have obviously the sand section in the back, then you got extremely hard packed section on the motocross, throw in a little enduro cross. You just got to get a good balance on the bike, feel comfortable on it, and it's going to be a little sacrifice here and there, but the balance and the comfort will be the key to throwing it down.
Balance and comfort. You hear that in just a few moments. We are going to meet our starting lineup. And, of course, Bones is number 1 man out there. Jakamo Rodondi coming off a great performance. Second at Glen Helen. It seems like you guys just keep getting better each and every round. What's it been like working with Jakamo here this year?
Oh, it's been awesome. And like I told you at round 1 at Delano, our goal was to learn. Get better every round. Learn. This is still a little new to us. And just amongst the team, the rider, and the bike, get better every round and be in contention. And so far, I think we've been accomplishing that.
Well, yes, you have, and we'll see if Jakamo can give some competition to the 5-time defending champion, Dante Oliveira. He's here. Mateo Oliveira has been stepping up big time. Of course, the big story, Tyler Lynn, coming in with some huge momentum. We'll see exactly what happens as we are just moments away from meeting our starting lineup and all the superstars here of NGPC. Bones, how would you assess this course? I mean, there's some hard pack sections out there. There's some really silty, sandy sections, and then that huge step up. You don't talk about total commitment. Yesterday I was up there during practice, and there's about 40, 50 fans just hanging out with coolers, enjoying the show. But, boy, you better be on the gas to clear that step up, huh?
Yeah, I might be up there a little later myself, but that's definitely a good vantage point up there because you can see most of the track. You can't see it down in the trees where the sand is, but you get into some sand up top there. You're coming off the motocross track, and on Friday, most everybody was here. They just had the motocross track open, so you didn't, even though you got some practice and could shake the bike down a little bit, it didn't give you the true scope of what this race is going to be like.
Yes, indeed, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. Mesquite MX, we want to give a big shout-out to the folks who put on this race. Remember, this was the round that really wasn't supposed to be. Round 4 was canceled, initially scheduled for 29 Palms. NGPC gets together with Desert MC. They get together with Mesquite MX, and boom, just like that, we are here in Mesquite, Nevada, ready for a thrilling round of racing, a thrilling round number 4. Cannot wait. It's going to be so awesome. A lot to talk about, too, that Tyler Lynn and those boys, I don't know if you know this, SLR, they were racing down in San Felipe yesterday.
Yeah, I told my wife, I said, of all the times I've been to Mexico, San Felipe was probably the place I felt the most comfortable and had the most fun down there. But, yeah, I was over there talking to KK's dad, and she said, yeah, the boys are driving up from Mexico today, and that was a trek.
And not only are they driving back, they're driving back victorious.
Yeah.
SLR Honda taking the win down there. So big congratulations to them. We've got a lot to talk about. And I do believe we are ready. Speaking of your man, Jakamo Rodondi, let's take you to a special interview we did with Jakamo earlier on. We knew it would only be a matter of time for this team that came together last minute. I'm talking about the Pro Circuit squad with Jakamo Rodondi. Jakamo, you guys have come a long way in a short period of time. Coming off a second-place performance, how would you assess your performance at Glen Helen Raceway?
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Yeah, last race at Glen Helen was an amazing race. Paradox did a very good job. And as the team, we test before the race, and I was feeling very comfortable. And I show during the race that we fight for an hour and 20 minutes with Dante. And then he made a mistake. We was going into the lappers, and Tyler Lynn got both of us. But yeah, super happy with the second place and ready to go after it tomorrow.
Remember, it was a heck of a battle. We really enjoyed watching you. And, you know, we were all very excited when we heard Mitch Payton was bringing his legendary Pro Circuit team out here. And you've got longtime veterans like Bones out here. And what I really enjoyed at the first race of the year, I got to listen in on you and Bones talking about the bike. You were giving them some feedback about how this bike is different. Tell me a little bit about how you've been able to dial it in and some of the changes that you've made here as we approach round number 4.
Yeah, we have arrived at round 1 with not too many hours on the bike. And then after that I was getting more comfortable, and we tried to work on a direction that I was like better the bike and feel more comfortable. And we went testing, of course, at Glen Helen, and the bike was we improved it a lot, and I really like it.
Heck of a battle you had with defending series champion Dante Oliveira at Glen Helen. Do you feel like you made a statement that you've got the speed to run with anybody out here?
Yeah, for sure. I'm not worried about anyone, and so let's see. I hope to have a good start tomorrow and see what Mesquite brings.
And finally, Jakamo, what's it going to take to make that one last step to get on top of the podium?
For sure, I had a good start. We are very close. As you see, the last round we were like top 4 or 5 in 20 seconds after an hour and a half. So I think confidence and good start for sure helps, and we'll see tomorrow.
Congratulations to you. We knew when this team was announced they were going to be tough, and they're really starting to find their groove now. Watch out for Team Pro Circuit. Well, we'll see if Jakamo Rodondi can keep the momentum high. He's coming back from Italy, and Boy, he has done just a tremendous job. It's hard to believe that team came together last minute. Big congratulations to Bones, the whole Pro Circuit crew, Mitch Payton. It is special to see. Mark Tilley stepping back in. Congratulations to him. He won 40 plus A, did a tremendous job. Mark, how you feeling, man? You ready for another broadcast?
I'm definitely ready for another broadcast. I don't want to go back out there and race again because I'm a little sore. So, but man, it's going to be an amazing track for these pros that are going out there right now. When I was out there a couple races ago, it was basically I was putting the first tracks in some of those lines out there, so it was great. So they're gonna do some really good stuff out there now.
I love it. We're going to talk much more about it. We're moments away from call-ups, but before that, earlier I mentioned Desert MC and how vitally important they are to this event. Let's find out more about Desert MC and how they got involved. To get 1,100 riders around this racetrack takes a massive effort, and we want to give a big shout-out to Desert MC because without a club like this, we simply couldn't do it. Brent and Maverick join me. Guys, thanks so much. You guys are so busy. How did this all come together, and how were you guys able to step up?
Well, I mean, it all happened in about the last 30 days. So there was a cancellation, and there was certainly an interest to try to find a venue and, really just to put on a dirt bike race. And Kurt, Craig, myself, Maverick, we started talking, about 30 days ago. And then the Moto Oasis, the track here, they reached out to us at some point and expressed some interest. And so we quickly pulled the group together and started talking through the logistics. And, there's a lot of details from there to now, but the short story is we're here. It's put together really well, and things have gone really smooth today and yesterday as well. And, we couldn't be happier. It's been really good.
I always say thank your local promoter, thank your local club, because, guys, you just have no idea how much work this is before the race, after the race. But let's talk during the race, Maverick. I see you guys out there with watering truck equipment. What is it like trying to maintain this awesome course that you built?
Well, honestly, Gary's made it very easy on us. We came in here with about a little under 30 guys to kind of help facilitate this entire event. That kind of puts in perspective what we need to bring to the table to make this happen. We've been fortunate to have Gary on board. He's helped us with all the equipment. He's helped us with all the water. We're primarily responsible for getting this start up and running. We had a very successful day yesterday, making sure everything was on time. And then we have the rest of our crew out on the course doing flagging, some safety. We got guys up on top of the hill facilitating communications between grassroots radios and Desert MC radios. So it really is a big effort.
Really appreciate you guys. Like I said, thank your local promoter. It was almost the round that wasn't going to happen, but because of NGPC, because of Desert MC, and because of Mesquite MX, we're here racing. Thanks a lot, guys. Yes, indeed. Big thanks goes out to Desert MC, Mesquite MX, and the folks here from NGPC for making this wonderful round happen. If you build it, they will come. More than 1,100 racers have traveled to this area, and I got to say, I'm so impressed with this facility. It's going to be an awesome show. Moments away from call-up, as soon as I get the green light from management here that our riders are ready, and we are ready, ladies and gentlemen. So at this time, are you ready to meet the field of the fastest men and women here on the property in Mesquite, Nevada? Let's take you to the AHM call-ups. And ladies and gentlemen, we begin with a young lady who is red hot, riding a massive win streak into Mesquite out of Riverside, California on a Honda CRF 250RX out of Monster Energy SLR Honda. Let's hear it for Michaela Moto KK Nielsen. Hot on the heels of Moto KK, she led a lot in Glen Helen. The ever-improving, always tough, Redwood City, California-based rider on a gas EX250. Let's hear it for Ava Silvestri. Another up-and-coming tough female. This young lady rides a Yamaha YZ250XS. Let's hear it for Ty Wolfslayer. And finally, entering her second career race as a pro, she's on the 108 Husqvarna. Here is Dana Rayner. And that, ladies and gentlemen, are the fastest 4 females on the property. Good luck to them as we turn our attention to the Pro 2 category. And we begin with your defending champion, your point leader, out of Melbourne, Australia. This man rides a KTM 250 XCF out of FMF RPM KTM Factory Racing. Here is Mason Salmons. Also out of Australia, this man rides a Husqvarna FC250. He's a 2024 National Hare and Hound Champion. Here is Sam Pritchard.
That was funny.
Out of Murrieta, California, rider of a Husqvarna FC250 out of Gainslinger Human Performance. Here is Cole Zeller. Out of Temecula, California, on a 3 Bros Hatch Husqvarna FC250, Mr. Supercross, Kai Aiello. Out of Simi Valley, California, rider of a Hatch Racing Kawasaki KX 250X. Let's hear it for the Cowboy, Colton Eck. This man comes out of Hesperia, California, on a Gas EX 250F of the proud Davis Racing family. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Dustin Davis. And out of Arizona, on a KTM 250 XCF, he is the 2024 NGPC 4-stroke A champion on an FMF RPM KTM racing machine. Here is Noah Gordon. This man rides a KTM 250 XCF, always tough, ever improving. Let's hear it for the 51 of Jackson Glather. Starting in the number 9 spot today on a 736 Honda, here is Jace Aldred. And rounding out your top 10 in the hotly contested Pro 2 category, this man rides a Gas number 185. Here is Zachary Curling. And we now turn our attention to the Pro category. And we begin with one of the greatest dirt bike racers alive in the world today. Ladies and gentlemen, he is a five-time defending champion out of Hollister, California, rider of the KTM 450. Let's hear it for Dante Oliveira. He will face some stiff competition because the hottest racer on tour right now, winner at Glen Helen, winner yesterday in Mexico, from the great state of Utah, to Monster Energy SLR Honda, here is the one, the only, Tyler Lynn. Starting in the number 3 spot today, ever improving rider on a KTM 450 XCF. He's not Dante's brother. Dante's his brother, ladies and gentlemen, in the number 3 spot. Let's hear it for the 831 of Mateo Oliveira. This man comes out of Lincoln, California, on a Beta 480RR out of Liquid Moly, Beta Factory Racing. Let's hear it for the 200 of Dare D. Martil. We just heard from him pre-show. We talked to his mechanics moments ago. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Italy on a Mitch Payton Prep Pro Circuit Kawasaki. Second at Glen Helen. Three-time World Enduro Champion. Let's welcome Jakamo Rodondi. This man comes from Corona, California, out of Monster Energy SLR. He rides the Honda CRF 450RX. How about it for the 27 of Ryan Surratt? Starting in the number 7 spot today, this man rides the number 25 KTM. Let's hear it for Timothy Barnum. And starting in the number 8 spot today, rider of the 137 Yamaha, here is Evan Stice. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is your starting lineup plus a few. Good luck to everybody. A few late ads in there. Doesn't have everybody's name on the registration sheet, but everybody's going to have an opportunity once that green flag drops. Mark, I got goosebumps. This is the round that almost wasn't at all. Craig called me 2 months ago, said round 4 is off. We're done. We're supposed to be at 29 palms. Here we are. We find ourselves at this beautiful facility. And boy, this is a diverse track, isn't it?
Yeah, no, this track is great. The people that work here and run this track, it's been amazing since we've been here since Thursday night. And practice on Friday and then race yesterday and now racing today. So the facility is amazing. I've spun some laps around just the motocross track, and they have multiple tracks here. They have a supercross track, an enduro cross track. I believe that the pros will be going through an enduro cross style pro section only. So I mean, you can't say enough about this event, and putting it on last minute is pretty amazing. Like it's definitely a cool thing for them to be able to do this and do it this fast. I'm still blown away by it.
It is Horsepower Theater, a great show. Some silty areas. Talking to some of the mechanics, they said this could be a battle of attrition. Watch for some motorcycles to potentially fail today. We certainly hope not, but they were telling me all the tricks. They said make sure those air filters are doubled up and that air box is sealed up, because there is some flour-like silt on this racetrack. Also, another big talking point, how about that massive step up? If you come up short, it's like a brick wall, so we want everyone to stay safe on that thing, but it is total commitment if you go for it.
Yeah, no, it's great. Like, it's really cool when you come to a facility like this, because it's hard to set your bike up. You can't, even tire choice, you can't, well, are we going to choose a sand tire, or are we going to choose a hard track tire? And, you know, some people can use that hard track tire out there. I know I was looking at Giacomo's bike yesterday, and somebody was telling me that he ran an AT82 Dunlop, and that's more of a harder terrain tire. And he was just messing around in the vet class with us yesterday, but still, they want to make it to where they have the best stuff that they can do. So, you know, it's really hard to set up suspension for a track like this. It's hard all the way around, and you kind of you do one, and then you kind of, if you set it up for sand, then in the hard pack, it's not going to work as good.
Yes, as we continue to give you a look at our starting lineup today, multiple categories out there. 25 plus will be out there as well. It will be fast and furious. Speaking of Giacomo, I caught up with him. He is running an MX82, half scoop, half knobby here today. Some people running the scoop, and we're going to talk much more about that. But ladies and gentlemen, at this time, what we'd like to do is we'd ask you to please rise as we honor this great nation that allows us the freedom to go racing. Please rise for the playing of your national anthem. Let's go racing from a beautiful afternoon here in Mesquite, Nevada. We welcome you in. Mark Tilley from the Dirt Bike Magazine YouTube channel alongside me. My name is Jack Corpella from the Racing Jack YouTube channel, and we are ready for some epic horsepower theater. Mark, what we must mention, it has been a dead engine start all weekend long for all these categories. Looks like we are starting off the gate here in the pro classes. How will that change things up?
Well, normally we're doing a dead engine start, and now these are live engine. So Kai doing the Supercross stuff is gonna actually probably in the Pro 2 class. He's definitely going to make it to where he is going to excel at that. But yeah, it changes the game. Jakamo having some trouble when it comes to dead engine starts. This is a live engine start. He just got back from Italy racing the Italian Championship motocross, and I think he got second over there. So he's been doing gate drops, so he's kind of used to it now. But all these guys have experience being behind the gate. I mean, Dare was a Supercross guy before he came over. Dante and Mateo ride motocross. Tyler Lynn does the same stuff. So it's going to be interesting. It's definitely, if I believe, these are grates too. So it's not like a concrete start. This is grates just like what you see in Supercross.
Can't wait. It's going to be exciting. The start is so important. As again, we welcome you to round number 4 of the Rocky Mountain ATV MC NGPC series presented by FMF, hosted by Desert MC and Grassroots Racing. Right now, riders getting last-minute instructions. Speaking of FMF, want to give a big shout-out to Donnie Emler and his team. They were here on site with us this weekend. Thank you, FMF, for everything you do. One of the very important sponsors of this series. And these sponsors that we hit during this broadcast, I always tell you, make sure you support those who support your sport. They are vital.
Yeah, I had a little talk with Donnie. He actually had to send somebody out here because he messed up with the scheduling, but he says he's still got some post-traumatic stress syndrome from the I believe it was the Gypsy 500 out here or whatever race that they just had. Maybe it was the Verb race, but they did it was basically a full day of racing with him and Cody Webb and somebody else, and it was he doesn't want to come back yet. So it's definitely a cool thing for him, but huge shout out to Donnie and the whole team over at FMF and what they do for the sport.
Thank you guys for what you do, and they got to be proud of the big number 1 because Dante Oliveira, he is an FMF-backed rider. FMF exhaust on that Bobby Dawson prepped factory KTM. Taking a look at those 5 gentlemen right there. I mean, these 5 guys could be on the starting gate in an outdoor national, no problem at all. They are that fast. I have confidence in that. Dare DiMartile, Dante Oliveira, Mateo Oliveira, Jakamo Rodondi, and who we got to talk about, who has really seized the momentum, Tyler Lynn. I asked Tyler Lynn pre-race, I said, is this the high point of your career? And he said, you know, it really is. He's coming off a win in Glen Helen, coming off a win yesterday in Mexico. Mark, how important is confidence and momentum in this sport?
Oh, it's huge, especially at this level. It's 99% of it is right there. Like, these guys are so talented, but if they don't believe that they're talented enough to win, they're not going to win. I was thinking about it, and those guys lined up right there. About the only guy that might not have done a pro national or a pro level national is maybe Tyler. I think all the other, well, and maybe Mateo, but like I know that Dare's done it. Jakamo, like I said, just did it. Dante's done it, and then I know Surratt's done it. He's done Supercross as well, so I'm not sure who's on the other side. But, yeah, I mean, all these guys are definitely accomplished off-road and motocross riders.
Well, we are just moments away, ladies and gentlemen, from officially kicking off Open Pro here, round number 4 of the Rocky Mountain ATV MC NGPC series, presented to you by FMF, hosted by Desert MC and Grassroots Racing. Big thanks to all of our great sponsors. We've already hit on AHM, Ride Engineering, Beta, the official motorcycle of NGPC. You guys are awesome. Oh, the NGPC support vehicle coming off. We are closing in on a start. Looking from right to left, Rodondi, Lynn, Oliveira, DiMartile. This gate is stacked with talent behind them. Pro 2 ready to go, our pro women as well, 25 plus, here from beautiful Mesquite, Nevada. It's time to go racing, everybody. Who will seize the momentum on turn 1 of round number 4 of the AMA National Grand Prix Championship Series? Anticipation is building. Riders waiting patiently down in that attack position. Leaving off the gate here today. It's a beautiful Sunday for racing. And we thank you for joining us live on NGPC YouTube. It's whole shot time. Who will seize the momentum? Who will seize the lead? Rev's coming up. And we are off. Dante with a great jump. Watch Tyler Lynn, hottest rider on tour now to the outside. It is, looks like Lynn. No, give it to Jakamo Rodondi. I don't know exactly where the whole shot line is, but Jakamo out front right now, and he is pulling away. That was tight, Martin.
That was Surratt actually got there first, and he was battling with his teammate. And here we go in the Pro 2 class.
Top riders on 250s. Ready for the all-important start. Watch that 526. The Cowboy right next to his rival, defending class champion Mason Simmons, the big number 1, the KTM. And a whole bunch of talent all around them. Revs up, and we are off. Digging in, looks like a Husqvarna. Is it Kai Aiello?
It looks like Kai.
Is it Kai Aiello, Mr. Supercross? I believe it is. He's made all 3 night shows at all 3 Supercross that he's entered this year. I think Colt Neck in second. Great start for him.
The Champ is buried back in the mid-pack.
Oh, Champ's got work to do. And Mark, you're the perfect guy to talk about this because about 2 hours ago, I saw you start dead last. And by the time you hit the step up, you were in 4th. What's the key to picking off those positions right here early track?
It's trying to be aggressive as early as possible, but then with this track, if you're too aggressive, it'll jump up and bite you. And it's got slippery corners, and if they put any kind of water down, it definitely gets slippery. And those jumps are big that they're doing right now.
And here come our ladies. Let's watch that battle between Moto KK and Ava Silvestri. It was a good one at Glen Helen. Dana Rayner out there as well. Ty Woolslayer and Moto KK gonna get the lead. I was able to get some scoop earlier because Ava had a tremendous performance at Glen Helen. Talked to her dad. They rolled the dice. They did not pit. It bit them because Ava ran out of gas at Glen Helen. Had to push it to the end, but a Boffo performance for her. Moto KK says she was actually sick and she's feeling much better now. We'll see what happens. Hard to believe Moto KK hasn't lost a race out here in over a year. I believe 25 plus on the gate right now. Keep an eye on Trevor Hunter. Man to beat in this category more times than not. This gate is stacked.
Yeah, this is the biggest class so far.
And we're off once again. Not a whole lot of real estate here into that first turn. Big bottleneck. Give it to the Honda racer. We'll have to see who it is. Sneaky inside line pulls away, and he is off and running with the whole shot here in the 25 plus category. Look at that traffic behind him. Great obstacles here. It's a little bit of outdoor motocross. It's a little bit of desert racing all rolled into one. I don't know if there's a track this diverse on the NGPC Tour. I mean, we don't normally see jumps this big at NGPC. Glen Helen, places like that you can, but I know that we don't see a step up like that. I can't wait till we get a camera shot of that crazy step up.
Yeah, I think about the only other place that's got a bigger jump than what we see here is the step up and over at Taft. We've had that, but that's not on the series anymore. But yeah, in Paula, we'll see some big jumps at Paula. But other than that, these jumps are the biggest we'll see.
All right, another big start. Rider down right there early. We'll see if he can pick it up and make some time. Looks like the KTM rider with the lead. But right now, it is so important, those first few turns. The man next to me, that's where I watched him put on a clinic. He went from last to fourth in just a few turns. Wise man told me long ago, they said, don't ever forget on that start, where else can you pass 10 guys in like 3 turns? You're not going to be able to do that the rest of the race.
Yeah, no, if you get a good start, you do yourself a favor right off the bat. And so these riders right now, what they're doing is, this is the last row. They're kind of hitting the last jumps right before they start to head up that hill and do that infamous step up that you were talking about. And then it goes into straight sand. So they're hard packed. There's some rocks in this section right here. And then they make that left-hand turn and make their way up. And as they go up, off to the right-hand side, there's that step up that we were talking about.
Here we go, guys. Our first look at the step up. There's your option. Sends it. Look at that. It's like a brick wall. I am so mesmerized and intrigued with that step up, and I got to admit, as a casual rider, also a little bit of pucker factor as I give these racers such credit. I mean, even you, Mark, you're an absolute stud, and you were telling me that it was giving you a little bit of pause yesterday, wasn't it?
It's a little bit of a sensation when you actually hit it, because all you're doing is you're going up, and all you see is a lip, and you go up the lip, and then just go. As soon as you go off that lip, then there's all kinds of stuff for your eyes to look at, and there's people standing there and all kinds of stuff. So it's definitely visually, it's really, really tough to do.
All right, we've got lots more to talk about. Stay with us. We'll be right back as round number 4 of the Rocky Mountain ATV MC NGPC series, hosted by FMF and Desert MC. We'll be back right after this.
Thanks, fellas.
Business in the front, party in the back. The all-new Kawasaki Ridge.
We welcome you back to round number 4 of the Rocky Mountain ATV MC NGPC series, presented by FMF, hosted by Desert MC and Grassroots Racing. Jack Corpella and Mark Tilley here with you. We'll give you some updates on these leaders as we are just a few moments into this. If you're new to NGPC, remember this race will be a minimum of 90 minutes. They will not throw the white flag if this race will conclude under 90 minutes. It's about a 6-mile course. Mark probably knows better than me. What type of lap times are we looking at here?
I think we're going to be looking at 9 minute, maybe high 9s. But I think these guys will get into the lower 9s. That's actually the battle for second place right there.
Oh.
That's Jakamo. It looks like Mateo's out front on that FMF KTM. And then Giacomo's in second, battling with Dare. Looks like Dare just might have made the pass. But so this is the last part of the track. This is the Mesquite vet track. And then they make a right here, and they come over. It's kind of an over-under, but
this is crazy.
It's kind of cool.
I couldn't wait to see this because I've been watching it back there in the pits, these over-under bridges. I'm like, are the pros going to use it as a kicker? Because I saw the 50s rolling up and down it. Like, that is so unusual. I've never seen anything like that. And it's tight. You can't scrub or anything like that.
No, it's about a bike length once you get up on top. So, they're going up a different section than... So they might...
Yeah, they have made some modifications.
So that is a pro section only.
Oh, look at his battle, too. Did Surratt get around Jakamo? This is your battle for second. Surratt making a statement. He said, hey, I hear all you guys talking about my team, my teammates.
That might be Tyler.
Or is that Tyler? I can't see. It's a 24. Tyler's the 24. We'll give you a close look. Dare DeMartille up there. Here comes definitely an SLR Honda, and there's Jakamo Rodondi. Where's Dante Oliveira?
Yeah,
find out. Mateo leading. Great performance for him. Got on the podium at Glen Helen. He's another one that has momentum on his side.
Looks like Dante's right behind Giacomo. He should be coming through the scoring chute right here. And this is an interesting thing, too, right in the scoring chute. Those guys all going wide around that little inside hump. Because if you go on that inside hump, it's really hard to make that first right-hand turn through the scoring.
Airing it out big time as we continue on early stages of round number 4 of the Rocky Mountain ATV MC NGPC Series. Watching a great battle. I hope Glen Helen was a preview, because sometimes we see somebody check out and action's pretty much over. At Glen Helen, we saw bar-to-bar racing the whole way through. A lot of these racers getting a little optimistic, too, because Dante made a rare mistake, went down, got tangled up in a bush. It was the first time Dante had missed a podium out here since Idaho 2022. I asked Dante about it. He's such a fierce competitor. He said, even a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while. He said, don't let these guys tell you they're closing in. And then it was funny, just to build a little rivalry. I asked Giacomo about it. Giacomo said, I have no comeback. He said, I can't talk any smack. The guy's a 5-time champ. As we watch Mateo sky it over the step up. Nice lead for Mateo. Great way for him to start. What a season it's been for him, too. Constant improvement. He made it clear to me back in the pits. He said, hey, I'm not just Dante's brother. I said, I'm sorry if it ever came off that way. We love the storyline. We do got to give him a lot of respect. He's really climbing out of his brother's shadow and showing that he's got the capability to win at any given race.
Well, yeah, and so the section that we're watching Mateo in right now, and then that's Dare right behind him, that's right after that step up, and you get the first taste of the sand and how the sand's going to be. And then you kind of drop back down into this section right here. It comes back into the field of view of all the spectators. And then you kind of go and there's a little bit of chicane here, and then you get into the real sand. And the real sand is, all this is still hard packed. There's rocks and kind of moving around a little bit, but they make this right hand corner, and as you can see, they kind of wind around a little bit, and that's when it starts getting into the real sand. And there's so many turns out there that I've done about 2 hours out there now. I still don't know where everything's at.
It is unpredictable. Some of the most talented and most fearless racers in the world are right here in the National Grand Prix Championship Series. Also, we want to give a shout out to everybody watching at home. Big shout out to Rosie and Bill Engel watching from Catalina Island. Wait till you hear this, Mark. They are working on trying to bring back the Catalina Island Grand Prix, a race that was absolutely famous in the 50s. NGPC ran it in 2010. They're talking about maybe bringing it back. What you know what that means for us, Mark, and anybody else who's wondering what it is? We're going to have to get on a boat to get out there to Catalina Island.
I remember when they were doing that. I was right towards the end of my pro racing days, and I wanted to do it really bad, and I lost out on it. But yeah, you have to ferry your bikes over, and I think it was like the week before you had to ferry bikes over and then go over it and then race. And it was I think it would be amazing if they brought that back. There's lots of people that would want to do it, myself included. And so, hey, if you guys need any help with that, let me know.
Very cool. I can't wait for the experience. Right now, Mateo Oliveira is loving his experience, and shout out to, he's got a new mechanic working with him. Nick Saylor of GNCC fame is filling in for the sick Josh Zoppel, who's watching us from home. So get well, Josh, but it looks like Nick is very comfortable, and Mateo's in good hands right now because he's flying around. And very interesting, some of the sneaky tricks. I spoke at length with Brody DeMartille, and he said it is just so important to extra seal the airbox at this race. He talked about some racers using tape, some racers using foam to just make sure every single crack is covered, because when you push these machines 90 minutes through the silt, they could potentially claim a bike or two. We know dirt and high-performance engines don't mix
at all. Yeah, no, I went through a couple twin air filters in my KX450 this weekend, and some pro filters, Maxima Pro filters in the kids' YZ65 and YZ125. So yeah, it's definitely that air intake is the lifeblood of that motor. It's almost more important than the gas. So,
well, it's a catch-22 too. We'll see who gambles, because a lot of teams will double up the air filter, but we know better airflow equals more horsepower. So who's going to gamble and go for a little more horsepower today, but maybe pay the price at the end? A lot of strategy in use out here when you talk about a 90-minute marathon. This is where conditioning is so important, but of course the longevity of the motorcycle is paramount.
Well, and these guys are making this look easy. Like, that's deep sand. Like that, those tires that they got, no matter what they chose, they're in deep sand right now, and they're making it look easy.
Our leader, Mateo Oliveira, and his brother Dante, both running the Scoop MX-14 tire. They love it. They love the Scoop. They're partial to it. Their team is, and we'll see if that leads them to victory. Talked to a few people that were anti-Scoop, and what they told me is they said, hey, that Scoop will wear down towards the end of the race. We may have an advantage on knobbies towards the end.
Yeah, and they're right. Any kind of sand tire is going to have a softer knob. I know Maxxis makes a really good sand tire as well, so some of those guys are on those Maxxis sand tires. Mike Farmer mounting those bad boys up for everybody. But, yeah, I mean, the farther those knobs are apart, the easier it is when they get into the harder pack stuff to kind of chunk off or wear down. But like I said, even what those companies are doing now, all the tire companies have a really good sand tire that work pretty good on intermediate to hard terrain as well.
Bike setup is so important as we take a look at the Seat Concepts and Skaggs Racing drone. Excellent coverage here. Thanks so much to our live broadcast team, all the wonderful sponsors, NGPC, for making it happen as we bring you this action live on YouTube. If you like it, down below in the comments, let us know. And the cool thing is, even if you're here on property watching this race live, you can also watch all 6 miles of the course right now on NGPC YouTube. Check it out as we go through a very tight section. Mark, take me through this section of track.
So in this section, that's really, really hard packed and really wet, so really slippery. So they come from full deep sand, get as much power as you can to the ground, and then now they're kind of doing a little bit of a little throttle dance with making sure that they're not giving them too much throttle and coming through. They come through the Supercross section, but now all that stuff, all the way from the end, all the way to that big jump that we see there, the step-up jump, then it goes back into stand. But so what they're doing right now is now they're going directly into the hard pack section of the track, and as you can see, our drones landing. But that's what these guys are dealing with. That right there, those little pebbles and those hard rocks and stuff like that. That's what they're dealing with out there. And then add some water to that. So add a little bit of water to that, and it's like snot when you're doing that kind of stuff. So all of that. So this is the Endurocross section. I hadn't actually seen this section. But this is the Endurocross section that only the pros are going through. And it looks like Dare's coming up on the back wheel of Mateo.
Great racing all over this track. Moto KK, our leader in the women's category. Trevor Hunter, the 2-2. What has the 2-2 done for you? Leading 25A. He corrected me pre-race too. He said, my favorite singer is not Taylor Swift. It's Dua Lipa. So, music choice.
I don't even know who Dua Lipa is.
All right, well, we'll leave it at that.
And I don't believe that.
No, he did. I swear to you.
No. I think that he's lying to you. I think he's a Swiftie.
Yeah, I think he is a Swiftie too. I know his dad, Craig Hunter of NGPC, big Swiftie. We shout out to him. He had this place rocking like a nightclub yesterday for some of these motos.
Yeah, and the Hines family, I know that they have some traditions with at least with Trevor on Friday night. And he's taken some Taylor Swift drinks. So
I gotta love it. Well, here's a battle Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce would be proud of, because Dare DiMartino on his factory beta is closing in on Mateo. Oh, there's the section, using it as a kicker. Dare DiMartino appearing to find his groove again. What a run it's been for him. Scored factory beta, their very first NGPC win late last year. Beta continues to improve. I know Carlin Gardner, Rodney Smith, and all the boys are watching. They have really done a great job with Benny Bloss and their riders out there in Supercross now getting top 10s on the regular, and they are cheering on Dare. We'll see if Dare can bring it home. There would be a party in the beta headquarters if Dare could.
Definitely, and Dare, if Dare can run up front for the first couple laps, he usually finishes really close to the box. So if he can run up front, I mean, Dante's still I think, running about 4th right now. But if Dare usually, if he runs up front, he can get comfortable up front. He's going for that win. So so this is the section where they come in, and if you look where Mateo came in, it was a little bit of a tighter turn coming in, and they have to pivot a little bit more. And I think in second, Dare kind of came in and just flowed through there a little bit better. But so Mateo yesterday was jumping that. So he's the only one. I know Jakamo and Dustin Davis were trying to jump that into the whoops yesterday, and they kept coming up short. So Mateo is the only one that I've seen jump that.
Jakamo must have went down or had a problem because he's fallen back a little bit. Dante just putting on his hard hat, going to work. He continues to pick up time. Mateo continues to lead. Dare DeMartil and Tyler Lynn. You want to talk about an incredible story, too, and you got to fill me in on this one, Mark, because, I'm all about training. I'm all about endurance athletes. I have no idea how these guys were able to run the San Felipe down in Baja yesterday, a grueling race, then jump in the van and drive 10 hours straight here to Nevada and have the energy, the wherewithal to go out there and give it everything they got. I mean, there's fatigue, soreness. It's got to be a factor, right?
Yeah, no, it's definitely a factor. These guys are all in great shape to be able to run for this long and at those speeds. And in Baja, it just kind of shows you it's a testament to the program that Mark Samuels has put together in the SLR Honda camp. I mean, these guys he's making sure that they're hydrated, making sure they have everything they need. And I know when they go down to Mexico, those guys aren't wanting for anything. They got great bikes. You're talking to Tyler's going to make the pass on Dare here, looks like.
He hears us talking about him. Dare not giving up an inch. Great battle. The SLR Honda rolling up on the beta. Dare grabbing a fistful of throttle. Give the pass to Tyler Lynn. He gets around Dare DeMartil. And the storybook ride for Mark Samuels Slam Life Racing continues. Red is a good color because those guys right now are red hot spicy. They have won everything the last month or so. We'll see if that trend continues.
Well, I didn't think about it, but Tyler lives up this way.
Yeah.
He lives up in Utah, I believe. And so this is probably about as close to a home race as he could get. He was probably loving the fact that, I can go to Mexico for a week or two, and then I'm going to come back and race close to the house, and then I can just drive home. So, that part's – he's going to have a little bit of a home field advantage. I don't know exactly where in Utah he lives, but our buddy Scott Perkins, he's texting us already talking about your five-time. I think he really likes it. I think you got to say it a little bit more in this. So, Scott used to live up here, and now he's back east doing car wash stuff. But he's known Tyler for a really long time, and so maybe I didn't think about it, but a little bit of home field advantage.
Yeah, I heard that from a couple different riders today, native to Utah. I know Cole Zeller said he grew up here, no longer lives here, but he grew up racing here, so that could be an advantage for him as well. And speaking of that Pro 2 category, we'll try to give you an update as soon as we can. Haven't caught the leaderboard just yet. I believe Simmons is leading there. Oliveira continuing to lead the way. And look at this. I'm feeling like I've called a lot of best in the desert races, and we talk about how vision is so important there, and I'm starting to see it here already. Vision's tough to get. As we take a look at the women category as well, there is the incomparable, indomitable 19-year-old sensation Moto KK Nielsen. It was great to talk to her pre-race. She had a scary moment yesterday, and I give her so much credit. I actually captured this on footage. I was up on top of the step-up, and she tried a different line, came up short. Jakamo Rodondi was right behind her. The old adage, when in doubt, throttle out. She just stayed on the gas and was able to save it. But just so much talent for her. Does a great job. Talk to her. She's actually going to be running the SMX Outdoor Series. It's all 6 of them, all 6 rounds. She's going to be out there competing in the Pro Motocross Championship. And
I think she just got back from Australia, did the Women's Cup thing over there, and I think they finished second.
Team got second. Moto KK was the star of the team. So great job by her. One of the fastest young ladies in the world, continuing to train with Robbie Bell, who is instrumental to so many out here. Talking about who prefers the knobby over the scoop, Moto KK running MX-34. She likes the knobby.
Yeah, and I mean that's a full motocross tire. So it's good if you run it with a moose, and I'm sure that those guys are running nitro mooses on those SLR Hondas. So you run it with the moose, you don't have to worry about flats, but otherwise you got to kind of worry about because it doesn't have the hard carcass of an off-road tire. So looks like the battle heating up for the lead here, and it looked like Tyler was going to go underneath as we cut away.
Oh no! Oh no! Is that Mateo?
That's Mateo on the ground.
Down, battling with Tyler Lynn. Oh man, and right in plain view of Big Brother. My goodness, we'll have to get another look at that. Looked like it was clean racing to me, but Tyler Lynn makes contact with Mateo Oliveira. Mateo goes down. Your new leader, the red hot SLR racing rider. Shades of Hayden Deegan and Juju out there. Is that why they call it Slam Life Racing? They slammed life right there.
We cut away and then cut right back to a turn or two later, but it looked like in the turn before he was trying to go underneath Mateo, and Mateo might have just stuck it. We got the very end of that, but Mateo might have just stuck it in the soft stuff up high, and they might not have made any kind of contact, but hey, that's racing, and that's what we're here for. So, but as you can see, the champ kind of sneaking in there. We got the 5-time coming in, and we'll do if he takes that lead, we'll have to do the 5-time thing that you do just for our buddy Scotty Perkins.
We'll do it for Scotty Perkins and many others. Not sure if you're sincere there, but I'm going to do it either way. All right. Mateo went down. We'll see if he can work his way back up. And as Mark said, yes, 100% sure. Anything I say, officially, unofficial, as I'm looking at the same view you are. Of course, we're broadcasting from this tent, looking at this great drone coverage. I don't know if they made contact or not. They were very, very close, though. That was for sure. And Tyler Lynn was carefully scouting, looking for an opportunity to pass. And I'll tell you right now, giving it the eye test, Mark, it looks like Tyler Lynn is pulling away.
Yeah, no, he's definitely, like I said, maybe some of that home field advantage. But so right now they're weaving their way through the multiple Supercross tracks that they have on location here. So all of this is really hard terrain, and they're searching for traction right now. It's kind of blue groove in spots, and then it looks like for us, we came back over this. There's another over-under right there, and it's kind of for the spectators to be able to do it. So that right there is the hot pit area. So when they do pit, they'll be pitting in there. So what we did is we kind of went straight there and made a left. These guys are coming back, going through it looks like maybe another vet track or something along those lines. And then they come through an enduro cross section. So
cool. This
so
is awesome.
If there wasn't enough stuff going on this track, let's throw in an enduro cross thing for these off-road guys. So
this is, guys, when I was telling you this is the most diverse, distinct track on tour, I don't know of another one where we have a section like that. Pretty wild. So we'll see what happens as we continue to follow this lead. It is the one and only Tyler Lynn out front. Dare DeMartille holds on to second. Dante Oliveira behind him. Now, if you're Tyler Lynn, based on that incident, are you worried at all about Big Brother coming up from behind you? Could he potentially...
No. Okay. No. Yeah, that's not anything that's in your mind. You might be thinking, I don't want to, I didn't want to do that to my buddy or something like that. But no, he's wanting to win. And he's thinking right now, I'm going to check out, and I don't want to be around any of these guys.
It looks like Dare DeMartille and Dante Oliveira, though, have closed in as we are about 30 minutes into this race. Remember, a marathon, not a sprint. We're going to go a full 90, so a lot of things can still happen. Mateo's got an opportunity to work back up as well. There you see him right side of your screen. But right now you're taking a look at your leader, the team that won yesterday, the San Felipe 250 down in Baja, Mexico. Tyler Lynn, Slam Life Racing. What a year for them. And it is cool that I love Mark Samuel's enthusiasm. When I first met him, I asked him, why'd you start a team? He said, simple. Nobody ever asked me to be on their team, so I decided to start my own. And they're going after it. I see him at a lot of the Supercross races with Parker Ross and company.
He's got future guys. He's got Billy Linovich, who unfortunately did something to his wrist, so he's out right now. But, yeah, he's got Supercross guys, he's got futures guys, he's got off-road guys, he's got moto guys. Like, it's great to see the Honda program and Honda stepping up as much. So I did hear from our buddy Mr. Perkins that he is from Mona, Utah. Tyler is from Mona, Utah. That's about 3.5 hours away from the track. So this is as close as he gets to a a home race, and man, he looks really comfortable. And if you think about it, I've been to San Felipe one time. He stalled it.
Mark Tilley might have just given him the announcer's jinx. Did the motorcycle stall? Looked like it might have stalled there. Had some type of holdup. We'll see if that how that enabled Derek DiMartino to close the gap with the factory beta. And there is Dante Oliveira. Great 1-2-3 battle as we are 1/3 of the way through this race. We expect pit stops about halfway, so we should be about 15 minutes away from a pit stop unless somebody rolls the dice and gets creative out there. We've seen that time and time again.
Well, and probably what we're looking at right now, Tyler Lynn has been down pre-running on Baja bikes, and their Baja bike is going to be, we just did a feature in the magazine with their Baja bike, and it's going to be an X chassis, so it's going to be a little bit different than the RX chassis. The RX Honda chassis is just like the motocross chassis, and then the X chassis is the same chassis as what the Dual Sport, the 450L chassis is. So a little bit wider, a little bit more stable. So he's back on a motocross bike, and I've been to San Felipe and raced the track, or raced the course in San Felipe. This course is way better than, it's way more fun than that stuff. I mean, you're not dealing with the big old embedded rocks that you have to deal with down there, and all the two-track from all the big trucks and stuff like that. So you don't have to deal with trophy trucks trying to fly by you at 110 miles an hour.
Action heating up, a great 1-2-3 battle. Stay with us, ladies and gentlemen. We'll continue to follow it. Round number 4 of the Rocky Mountain ATV MC NGPC series, hosted by FMF and Desert MC. We'll be back right after this.
Every generation believes they've invented the best way. With age comes wisdom. We've come to realize that every piece of knowledge is learned, passed down from those generous and patient enough to teach.
Take a look.
Legacy. It's not about leaving something behind to be remembered by. It's realizing that the future lies within the next generation.
Let's call it a night. All right.
The nature of true progress is humbly building something bigger than yourself. Rocky Mountain ATV MC. This is our legacy.
Thanks, fellas.
Business in the front, party in the back. The all-new Kawasaki Ridge.
And we thank all of our great sponsors as we bring you back to a hot and heavy battle here at round number 4 of the NGPC series. Here we go, Mark. Don't blink. This one's getting interesting.
Yeah, and so we're looking at Dare DiMartile and Dante Oliveira right now. So it is definitely heating up. It looks like they're getting closer. Tyler Lynn looks like he's pulling out a little bit, but I think that it's just those guys are getting a lot closer. So in the back section, right before, I believe this will be right before they start coming back into the area. They're out away from the sand, and now it's back to hard pack. So like I was saying, if Derek can stay up there, usually he finishes up there when he starts like this. So we'll see if both those guys can push each other up to Tyler. But, man, it looks like Tyler's on rails right now.
Tyler is on rails. You know, we talked about how racing yesterday could have been a disadvantage. Let's flip it. Maybe, as you said before, racing on a much more difficult, much more grueling course yesterday might feel like a Sunday drive out here today.
Well, and those guys just doubled those. Wow, that's pretty amazing. Both Dante and Tyler went to the outsides and doubled those 2 single mounds, or there's actually 3 of them there. So these guys starting to feel the flow a little bit. And again, they're coming back from all the sand, and they got to kind of transition through this area where there is some deep ruts, and then it looks like Dare's dealing with some lappers right there. But it looks like they're gonna come back into, this is the Supercross section that we were talking about earlier, with those guys going through the Supercross, in between the Supercross naturally. But all this is really hard packed. It looks like they're starting to kick up some dust, but you can see Dare trying to look for some traction there. So
yeah, and that was a great shot moments ago because we were able to see the gap. If you keep an eye left-hand side of your screen, you might be able to catch a glimpse of Tyler Lynn in your periphery. But right now it's Dare DiMartile, Dante Oliveira battling for the lead as we take a look at some of the other categories out here. Here's Ava Silvestri, the much talked about.
That's Ava right there in second place in the women's pro division, I believe.
Yeah, Ava doing a great job. She ran out of gas in second place. That was Ava Silvestri. She ran out of gas at Glen Helen. They rolled the dice on a pit stop, but doing a great job. She's got her father out here with her and felt like she really picked up some momentum trying to close in on Moto KK. Ava continues to do a fantastic job.
It looked like she opted out. She didn't do the step up and over that we were talking about earlier. But so these guys coming into now the battle for second right here with Dare and Dante. There's really deep ruts that develop at this track, like watering wise, and kind of got a little bit off, but just shows you even the top guys make mistakes. But so yeah, there's some deep ruts here, kind of more what we're used to seeing in motocross races in general, but they're definitely doing it. And then it kind of gets in, you can see they're a little bit blue groove, but yeah, some 2 different lines going there right now, and trying to make sure Dante trying to sneak underneath Dare, and Dare just kind of railed it around the outside. So
yeah, Dare putting on a great performance. I'm sure Dante wants to get out of that dust, out of that roost, but Dare has not given him an inch so far. As for Dare, very interesting too. I talked about the success of Factory Beta. It is a contract year for Dare. Not sure if he will get re-signed just yet. I know he wants to be back with Factory Beta, but we know changes happen around here. Could potentially see Dare become a free agent next year. Not sure how that's going to go, but if I know anything about Factory Beta, I'm sure if those guys got the wherewithal, they're going to want to lock him up, because anytime I talk to Carlin Gardner and crew, they're always asking about him, always very, very proud of what Dare and his father have been able to do out here in this series.
Yeah, and they've done a lot. It would be a shame for them to lose him to go to somewhere else, because if he doesn't re-sign with him, he's definitely going somewhere else. So that's a gnarly downhill section. Our first shot at that downhill section. But yeah, I mean, these guys definitely putting in the work, and hopefully Dare does return next year with Beta.
Dante Oliveira continuing to hammer the gas. Remember, guys, he missed the podium for the first time in 3 years. Last race at Glen Helen. Trying to get back to his winning ways. We'll see what can happen. Another interesting note is there's your leader. Let's take a look at the gap. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. I'm going to say it's about 6. Oh, Dare having problems in the chute. That's going to hold up Dante. Dante had nowhere to go. Boy, that is the disadvantage of that single line section. You are completely at the mercy of the guy in front of you. They lost some time on that one.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely when you come into that. This is naturally that is a lapped rider that they're coming into. Oh, Dante just pulling the trigger on that double right there, but definitely one of those things to where you're at the mercy because you have to break down to one line. I know that my son had that happen to him, and it cost him a position in his race on Saturday. But shout out to Austin Tilley and Jacob Tilley on their races. Austin got another win when it came to his second race or third race in the novice class. So if he keeps doing that, we're going to have to move him up here. So, but great job this weekend, buddy, and have a safe drive home.
Yeah, you're doing a great job with your kids. I love watching it. I try to get out there on Saturday, get some social media videos. I love all the families out here. That's what's cool is if you come out on a Saturday, you see tons of moms, dads, uncles. Love the family element out here. Love the ladder system. Talked to a young girl yesterday, 4 years old, with her FXR shirt on, out there racing. Where else can you run the same track the pros do at 4 years old?
Well, yeah, no, and we have my kids' mom's driving them home right now, so they're back for school tomorrow, and we got to stay here and do this, and then that way they're not getting home late. But yeah, it's a great family atmosphere. It's my parents come to all the races that they can with us as well, and they're a huge part of my racing and the boys' racing, and it's a fun thing. Like we all went out to dinner last night and had fun with all the kids, and we have the Tryons here, the Nelsons here. It's just a fun. Bob from Precision Concepts is parked with us in the pits, and then Bones is right next to us. So it's a great family atmosphere, and if you're looking for something like that, NGPC is definitely the place to be on the West Coast.
If it looks like fun, come out and give it a try. And here is a man who we have not seen much of during this broadcast. That is Mason Simmons. Boy, what a story he is. I was checking the results at Glen Helen. Do you know he was 7th overall on a 250? So I told him, I said, boy, that's got to make you feel good that you're ready for the 450s. And he had a big smile on his face. He said, that's the plan, mate. Well,
right now he's running 5th overall.
Wow, running 5th.
So he's definitely working his way up. See Dustin Davis coming through, having some problems.
What is going on right there? If we could stay with that shot for 1 second. Blue groove, clay.
Like we were saying, or like I was saying earlier, it's so where how they come up over the top right there, there's a little hump, and it makes it a really hard, like you got to kind of pivot on your 1 foot to spin the back end around. But if you go around that hump, you kind of come into it a little bit easier. So I think right now we're looking at Cole Zeller getting ready to head up the hill and hit that big step up over into the sand. So we'll get a pretty good view. Oh, we cut away, but you get a pretty good view of exactly how it feels to do that. I mean, like I was telling you earlier, it's you come up to that lip and all you see is the lip, and then as soon as you leave the lip, all of a sudden you see a horizon with a golf course and most of Mesquite. You can see casinos, and then there's people lined up on the top there. So it's definitely stimulating to your eyes, that's for sure.
Getting dusty, getting hot and heavy as we are about halfway through this one. Pit stops forthcoming here. Round number 4 of the Rocky Mountain ATV MC NGPC Series presented to you by FMF. It has been a beautiful day, and again, I cannot thank the folks here at Mesquite MX in Mesquite, Nevada enough for hosting this round, almost the round that wasn't. I did a little research about this area too.
I was wondering when the research was going to come in.
All right, you ready for this? The quickest growing town in Nevada, occupied by a lot of snowbirds, originally found by pioneering Mormons. It is also the home of the only donkey museum we know of, which is free and open to the public. They do take donations, but free and open to the public if anybody wants to check out. Maybe we should send the winners to the Donkey Museum.
I could see the Donkey Museum being a big draw for Mesquite.
All right, so speaking of men that are draws, successful men, Bob Bell from Precision Concepts is one of them. We got to talk to him a little bit earlier on about his brand new facility. Let's take you to that. Precision Concepts, Bob Bell.
kind of sucks that you can't hear it.
No.
All right, we are back. We'll try to return you to that one in a little bit. As don't worry, it's recorded, so we'll be able to hear it in a little bit. As we continue on, 45 minutes in, let's set up near pit road because I think we got pit stops coming in, and we'll have to get a check on just how far out in front Tyler Lynn is. There's D. Martil on the factory beta. There's Dante giving chase. Another interesting fact about Dante, and Mark, you were probably aware of this one. I wasn't. Do you know that Glen Helen was Dante's first race with a 6-speed transmission?
I did not know
Normally
that.
runs the 5-speed, so he said there's a little bit of a learning curve there. They believe the 6-speed is better out here. Here's something that I do not know either. Can you get a 6-speed stock from KTM, or is that just one of the special factory goodies?
No, I believe that there is some of the bikes that do come with 6 speeds. I don't know what they are off the top of my head. I don't know if those are XCWs. I believe that the dual sport models have it in there as well. But so yeah, I mean that's a factory level modification once you get down to that point. But it looks like, looking at this, I didn't see Tyler Lynn anywhere up there. So he must be putting more time on those guys. Otherwise,
is that him right in front, or is that a lapper?
No, that's a lap rider.
All right, so we'll keep a
so
watch on.
Hopefully Tyler would be coming back the other way right about now. So that might be him up in the...
We'll have to see if the talented Craig Hunter or any of our spotters here in NGPC can give us an update. It is a big challenge to cover this course, 6 miles. We believe Tyler Lynn is our leader, but we have gone to break. We have gone to a feature. Anything could happen. Dare D. Martil, we know, is up there. We know Dante Oliveira up there. There's the big orange number 1 of the 25-year-old 5-time champion. Gets my vote for one of the most talented dirt bike racers in the world. Went east last year, won at GNCC. Said he doesn't have any plans to do that. Doesn't have any plans to run outdoor motocross. Is Dare coming in? No, Brody says stay out. All right, so it looks like they're going to stay out a little bit longer. Nobody coming in just yet. Lapper's a big issue, and Mark, you know this from watching Supercross. They've been talking so much about lappers this year. The great Cameron Steele from SoCal, he had a diatribe saying lappers should pull off. And well, imagine out here at NGPC, there's no lights, there's no flaggers. Sometimes as a lapper, you don't know if you're battling for position or not, and that can really, a shorter course like this can add another layer of difficulty for our front runners.
Yeah, no, definitely, and a lot of lappers that we're going to run into this later on, and then the dust as well. So this will give us a pretty good view. If we don't see Tyler coming back the other way right about now, man, I haven't seen
we
him.
got to get an update. Paging Craig Hunter, NGPC, guys. Get the binoculars out. We need our spotter. Is Tyler Lynn, SLR Honda, still leading this thing? I know Mark Samuels wants to know. Or is Dare D. Martil getting it done on the factory beta? And I got to give him a big tip.
That might be Tyler coming back on the... No,
I don't know.
Yamaha. So we'll see, because they're about to go through the scoring section right here. So again, everything that we're talking about is unofficial. We don't know. He's probably still out front, but right now, just in the camera angles that we've had so far, is we don't see him. So it could be good for Tyler, and it could be that he pulled out enough to where he is got a healthy lead and can kind of pace himself now, or it could be that he's just not out front.
Yeah, so what that means is he's either checked out big time or had a problem or a bike failure, perhaps fatigue crept up. We shall see. But again, I just can't tell you how all the mechanics were stressing to me that this track is a bike killer. They said, sand comes in grains. They said, we can handle that. The silt is like flour. It is just straight powder, sucked into your airbox, sucked into your engine, and will kill your motorcycle, especially in a 90-minute moto.
Well, what we're talking about with the silt, if you're watching, you're wondering what that is. Every time you see a puff of dust out there, that's silt. Like that. And there's what we call silt beds. And so, it's really fine, powdery type dirt. So it can ruin a motor really quickly. So those guys definitely, almost as quickly as what we saw last night in Supercross, the mud, silt can do it just as bad. I know down in Mexico, where those guys were just at, there is lots of silt beds. So they got trucks running through there, but all those little puffs of dust are silt, and then you'll get into areas that will have silt on the ground, and you'll just kind of, it puffs up, and it just, you drop into it. And sometimes it's a lot deeper than what you think. Just like mud and that stuff, you hit a muddy section, and it's a lot deeper than you think.
Well said, my friend. I'm looking at our live timing and scoring, and they have Dare DeMartille out front. So, speaking of Supercross, I know our friends from Supercross are watching this. Dare DeMartille has put himself in position to give Factory Beta their second NGPC victory. That means Lynn must have made a mistake at some point. According to live timing and scoring, he's 21 seconds back. Oliveira 3 seconds back. So we now can officially tell you this is the battle for the lead. Oh, look at this. We got Dare still goes for it. A lapper was in the good line. This is when it gets dicey. This is when it gets hairy. That is that unforgiving step up that we talked about. Whoa, Mark, did you see that sequence? A lapper was in the good line for the step up. Dare, your leader, coming through, had to take the slow line, the middle line, still goes for it. He had the chance to roll it, but...
And it looked like Dante jumped right next to a lapper as well, but that lapper actually did the jump. So these guys are all over each other. We're hearing that Tyler went down, and that's why he's in third now, but that's basically from our couch supervisor, Scott Perkins, talking to Tyler's dad for us.
Okay, so we got spies on the ground.
Dante must taste the blood in the water because he's going after him.
Yes, he is, guys. I got to believe they're going to pit this lap. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. How far can they push it? They got the big oversized gas tanks, and we got a battle. It's Beta versus KTM. DeMartille versus Oliveira. Two of the best in the business out here putting on a show for you. Let them hear it, fans. It is great to see the spectator turnout. They're loving this show.
Well, and you can see the Dante not following Dare, not following his lines. There's two reasons why he's doing that. He's looking for kind of better lines as well, kind of trying to set him up in a different spot. But the roost hurts here, so you definitely don't want to be behind that big 480 Beta because it's going to kick back some stuff that will not feel good on your body, that's for sure. Even though these guys are wearing protection, it's not going to feel good on your body. And he's making the pass around the outside.
Oliveira, give it to your five-time defending series champion. Asserts his dominance, and the factory Red Bull KTM is out in front. Does Dare DeMartille have anything for him? Don't look for Dare to give up. Oh, Dare just gets buried in sand, though. That's the difference between leading and second, as Dare just had a wall of roost fall on his 480 RR.
Well, and if Dante's looking at making a run right now, and if they're going to pit this next lap, he's going to try to go as fast as he can because this is the lightest his bike's going to be without all that gassing.
Tremendous battle for first and second. Stay with us, guys. We'll be right back. Round 4 of the Rocky Mountain ATV MC NGPC Series presented by FMF. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Action heating up as we enter the final stages of round number 4 of the Rocky Mountain ATV MC NGPC series presented by FMF. Jack Rapella, Mark Tilley with you as we are here at Mesquite, Mesquite, Nevada. Absolutely loving the action, loving this track. So unique. If you've never been here, Mark, you feel like you're going to a golf course because you ride all the way.
You literally do.
You do. But at the end of that golf course lies an oasis of speed.
This is pretty cool. They're doubling that. That's huge.
Shoot.
I was singling just like what Dare just did, but man, that's huge.
Well, Dante Oliveira, what I've learned about this young man with just an ironclad work ethic is watch out when he has a chip on his shoulder. And I could tell earlier today he definitely had a chip. He was not happy about missing the podium, making a mistake in Glen Helen. He was leading Glen Helen, washed out in a corner and actually got stuck in a bush. Cost him a lot of time, and that caused him to miss the podium. But Dante Oliveira letting everybody know, Daddy's home. He's back. Trying to get that factory Red Bull KTM atop. We do believe we got pit stops coming up, about 60 minutes.
And we're going to find out in about 10 seconds right now because they're going to make this left-hand turn and a right-hand turn and go over that over-under thing. And so these guys, I believe, they're starting to work their way into some of that 4-stroke A class and 2-stroke A class. So we're going to see if he's pitting right now. Yeah,
Dante is coming in. Bobby Dawson, he's got the quick cap ready. New pair of goggles, maybe a little supplement in the Camelback, making sure they got enough fuel. And your five-time defending champion is off. A flawless pit stop for them.
I don't think Dare pitted. I think he stayed out.
And
he did.
Brody DeMartille and Factory Beta rolling the dice. They're rolling the dice. They're staying out there. You know, sometimes they get the calculator out if they can somehow make it on fuel. That was what I told you. Ava Silvestri's team thought they could run the entire Glen Helen on one tank of gas. They were close. If that gamble pays off, it's going to make a big difference.
Yeah, if you're gambling like that, there's definitely some pucker moments those last couple laps if you're going to make it. But so Dare went from behind. He's making that right-hand turn now. But so you look at it, and it's kind of a testament to how fast those IMS dump takes actually get gas into those bikes. Because he only gained, like that's Dare coming back towards us. And then Dante is just getting ready to go over that. So that's 5 seconds maybe for a complete pit stop. So it's pretty amazing that those guys can do that fast.
Very cool. Jared DeMartille, Factory Beta. I want to remind everybody that Beta is the official motorcycle of the NGPC series, and we will be raffling off a 2025 450 RX. You can purchase raffle tickets at ngpcseries.com.
And that's really close to the bike that Dare's riding right now. I believe he's on the 480, so a slightly different model, but a lot of, just like some of the other manufacturers, they share frames, they share motors, so it's just top ends that will be a little bit different, and some bikes will have a little bit different options in there. But they're making that Beta look really good, and yeah, I don't think there's even a purchase necessary to enter to win that Beta from NGPC. But you know, it's great. You can win the bike and then come out and race it at NGPC as well.
Very cool. Don't forget about Ride Engineering as well. The official triple clamp of NGPC will be raffling off a clamp. Round number 5 at Paula. 25% off NGPC racers get from Ride Engineering without winning anything. Just let them know you're an NGPC racer, and you get 25% off. And Ride Engineering clamp.
There's a lot of options over there at Ride Engineering. Adrian doing a lot of riding and doing a lot of testing himself, but he's got some good people testing behind him. One of my test riders, Sean Lapinovich, does some. We're doing a Gas 450 testing some components right now for an upcoming project bike. But they not only do they make triple clamps, they have them to where the bar mounts have the stabilizers. Basically, all the stabilizer companies that are out there with Scott and GPR, they make a mount to be able to mount to their triple clamps. But they also make lowering links. They make performance links. Adrian over there is making a lot of stuff, and he's been making a lot of stuff for a long time. So you can get some bling out of him too. They got some chain adjustment stuff and some engine covers and stuff like that. So yeah, check them out. I think it's rideengineering.com.
Taking a look right now at your leader who has not pitted. We'll check out the gap between Gary DiMartino, and we'll try to find the big number 1 of Dante Oliveira. And, good pit stop, under 15 seconds they can do it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think the KTM guys just did it in about maybe 5 or 6. So depending on how long it takes you to get goggles and dump those IMS cans full of gas. So, so we're looking at Tyler Lynn. Tyler Lynn riding around in 3rd now, I believe, on that SLR Honda. And we got some reports that he went down per his father through our couch production manager.
We'll take
Scott
as many
Perkins.
spies as we can get.
Yeah, so if you're out there and you have some racing action, you can text Jack or you can text myself, because that's what we're getting from those guys. So yeah, right here he's making that left-hand turn and going up there. We're going to get a really good shot of what it feels like to do that jump. So just a blind jump and straight into sand.
And here's what I can tell you from standing up there yesterday that you're just not going to be able to see on the drone. That landing that you have to clear is like a 15-foot brick wall. I mean, if you go front wheel into that, I think I asked Cole Zeller, what happens if you're going front wheel into that? How do you save it? He said, jump off the bike.
Yeah, exactly. You're jumping off that bike for sure.
At least then you land on your feet. They said, if you're going to case it with the rear, you can pin it, hopefully seat bounce it up there. But these riders make it look easy. Some of our B and C riders were having trouble with that yesterday.
Yeah, no. I in one of my races that there was today, they put a little bit of water on there, and it was hard to get your momentum down on the start. And I remember on the first lap, I was coming up on somebody, and I'm looking at it going, yeah, he's not going to have that momentum to make it. And so I opted out and went the other way. And then I missed the turn because I was watching to see what the carnage was going to happen. And there was definitely some carnage. He didn't make it, and I don't think he finished the race either.
Well, we're going deep into Mesquite now. The Virgin River and Virgin Mountains alongside us. Saw a beautiful view earlier. Still snow on top of those Virgin Mountains here early in the year. But it has been cool.
It was crazy when we came in. Like, I used to do off-road races here, 15 years ago, and now looking across the valley when you're coming in here, dropping down in the track. Now there's actually houses and everything on the other side, which we were coming back in from dinner, and we were like, wow, there's a whole town over there. So this is kind of a cool addition to the race. You go from sand and kind of into a grass track. So it's definitely lots of interesting terrain out here, and like you said, maybe one of the most diverse courses that we have.
It is indeed. But as for now, let's try to take you back to Bob Bell and Precision Concepts and hear about his new facility. One of our great sponsors out here and one of the biggest names in dirt bike racing is Precision Concepts. It is wonderful to be joined with the legend himself, Mr. Bob Bell. Bob, I got to talk to you because not only does your company continue to evolve, your products, your services, so do your headquarters. You got new digs. Tell us about it.
Yeah, we after 17 years of being up in Riverside, we moved down to Lake Elsinore. And it was kind of a forced move just because of the owners of the building we were in and stuff. But we've been actually really happy down there. There's a lot of off-road stuff going on around us. And so we feel like we fit at home down there, and our business is picking up substantially. And so, yeah, it's been a really good move.
Well, congratulations on that. And I know a lot of people know you for your suspension, but just taking a look around some of this signage, bike builds, motor builds, you guys do it all. Tell me some of the things that you can do at this new shop.
Yeah, we have a suspension area, and it's kind of isolated from the rest of the shop. But then we actually have an area now that we're working on bikes. We can do full bike builds. We can do split cases, do motors. Yeah, just pretty much anything you need done with a dirt bike. Everything is in-house, and we can pretty much do it all.
Do you feel like your new headquarters has any advantages over your old shop?
Yeah, like I say, the area is a good area. It's closer to most people's, that are a lot of our customers that we get, and it's just like I say, it's a big off-road area. I mean, there's buildings around us that from trophy truck builds to transmissions to everything. We have a high-end Harley dealer behind us that modifies Harleys. So it just feels at home down there.
Well, what I love about you, too, is that there's a lot of different suspension and service shops out there, but not everybody has the resume to back it up. You are a bona fide racing legend. All those years, you, your son, all your teams out here. How do you think you've been able to apply what you've learned and then pass it on to the customer?
Oh, big time, yeah. I mean, when we started with Factory Honda back in 1998, and then ever since moving up from there, we were there through 2008. Then we did Kawasaki's from 2009 all the way through 2023. But yeah, I've learned so much, especially one of the names I like to drop a little bit, but is Bruce Ogilvie at Factory Honda. He taught me so much. I learned a lot of suspension myself, but he showed me how the suspension and chassis work together, and that was like invaluable. I mean, when we set up bikes, we always talk to people. We test all sorts of chassis stuff to go along with the suspension, and some stuff works, some stuff doesn't, but we learn from that, and we can, dial in a bike much more precisely by matching the chassis to the suspension. So that's been just invaluable.
Precise, hence the name Precision Concepts. Yes, I think it's all those years of knowledge that really benefit the customer. Something else I want to ask you about, too, there's a lot of different forms of motorcycle racing. Very different and distinct what they do here at NGPC. 90-minute grueling motos. What's the best advice you could give to a racer in this series when it comes to setup, bike build, bike prep? What is your philosophy?
Well, it is true. Grand Prix are one of the most difficult things to set up because you got areas of desert racing where you'd want suspension for that. You've got areas of motocross where you want suspension for that. So it just varies so much. And you go to like 29 Palms, which is wide open. And then you come like even here, which is very deep sand and big whoops. So they're very, very different. The speeds are different and everything. So trying to come up with a setup that's like a compromise is and it's a challenge for me, but I enjoy that challenge, and stuff. It just makes it fun to try to figure out how to do it. And I've already been
Precision Concepts, guys, look them up. They do it all. We're taking a look. We'll try to get you an update. There is Tyler Lynn making his way through the Enduro section. We believe, don't quote us just yet, we think Derek DeMartile came in for a pit stop.
Yeah, you could see it kind of in the picture-in-picture that we have, but I couldn't tell if he came in or if it was just dust covering where he was at. So right now we'll get a pretty good look at the three leaders should be on this part of the course right now, so which is the vet track for the Mesquite MX facility. So again, that we're watching Tyler Lynn running in third place. He was out front earlier, but apparently we're hearing that he went down. He's okay. So that looks like Dare right there going over the over-under. So unless that might be Dante down the trail a little bit, getting ready to go up the uphill because he's got the Dante Oliveira style.
Yeah, somebody's flying out in front of him. We'll see here in just a little bit, and we will give you the official update. Do believe Dare came in, though. This is round number 4 of the Rocky Mountain ATV MC NGPC series, hosted by FMF. Thanks to Desert MC Grassroots Racing for everything they do. We're 21 minutes away, closing in on finish. There is the big number 1. Let's see where he's at on track.
He is in front of Dante because he's coming in right about where the motocross. This is the motocross finish line, and Dare was coming into that section as well. So Dante's coming into the scoring chute right now. It looks like he had just passed Moto KK.
So there's Moto KK. So Dante's our leader?
Dante's the leader.
Dante's our leader. Here comes Derek DeMartile. There we go, guys. All right, so we've sorted it out. Pit stops are over. There is your battle for the overall here today. The 5-time Dante Oliveira Factory Red Bull KTM. Oh, coming up just a little short. Saves it, though. Beautiful landing. Talking to Dante about his rigorous training schedule. Said he runs 90-minute motos 3 times a week. Lots of time in the gym. Been working very, very hard out there with his mechanic, Bobby Dawson, the Factory Red Bull KTM team, putting on a show here, trying to get back atop the podium. Derek DeMartil, though, don't count him out just yet. He's got 20 minutes left in this race to try to make a move up.
Yeah, and I was talking to Dante right before the when you were talking to Bones, I was talking to Dante earlier. And if you notice on his left wrist, he has a wrist brace. And I was asking, I was like, hey, did you fall or what? Like, what's going on? And he's like, nah, just kind of have a nagging little injury from, last summer to where, the ligaments get stretched out in there, the tendons. And I have wrist issues, so I can definitely relate to that. But, yeah, he was saying that it's just more he tried to ride with it or without the brace, and he just feels more comfortable with it. So, not a new injury, just some old stuff creeping in every once in a while.
Well, I mean, even at 25 years of age, when you put in as much seat time as him, this is a very grueling and difficult sport on your body. That's why I laugh. I cover a lot of motorcycle drag racing. There's guys out there 70, 80, no problem. I mean, what do we see in Supercross? You make it to 30, you're a vet. You're an older rider. Ken Roxon, Cooper Webb, those guys, they're older riders. But some of them just make it look easy, like Jakamo Rodondi. He's having a great run out there.
Yeah, I believe Giacomo's probably the oldest, one of the old, well, if not the oldest, but one of the oldest guys on the pro grid, because he goes out there in the 30 AA class when I go out in the 30 class, and he shows us all the fast way around the track on that pro circuit backed KX 450.
All right, guys, we are less than 18 minutes away from a finish. Cannot wait. We got lots of people watching online. Let us know in the comments. By the way, if you are watching, we're on NGPC YouTube, just an awesome outlet. Again, you can check out Mark Tilley. He's on Dirt Bike Magazine YouTube. You can check out my stuff on Racing Jack YouTube when we're done. Been going to some Supercross. One gentleman watching right now, I got to give a big shout out to Chris McCarthy, my pilot who flew me on American Airlines. He's an NGPC racer, and he is watching the
Oh, wow,
broadcast
that's cool.
right
That's
now.
really
So
cool.
Shout out to a man who flies literally and figuratively.
Exactly.
All right,
So it looks like
Hunter.
that's Mr. Trevor Hunter on his KX 450.
Oh no! Trevor, did he lose? Let's hope he didn't have a motorcycle failure. Oh no! The 22 of Trevor Hunter, the Swifty machine, back on gas with Kawasaki. Trevor's such a talented racer too, son of Craig Hunter of NGPC fame. Out here, I've got to watch Trevor in the Best in the Desert series. Hare and Hound does a fantastic job.
He's got some Swifty colors on there, too.
He certainly does. He's
very, very stylish.
Pink yesterday, purple today. He is making a fashion statement, ladies and gentlemen. And I hope that's not a battle for position behind him. We don't know. We got racers from all different classes.
Now it's a position in front of him.
Nice. But, Trevor does so much for this series, works on the social media side, edits a lot of the videos, does some promotional work, one of the many who makes it happen. I always say thank your local promoter. You have no idea how much work it is to put these races on. That's why I really want to thank NGPC Desert MC for everything they've done, the folks out here at Mesquite MX. When you host 1,100 plus riders on any given weekend, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, and it looked like Trevor is leading that 25 junior class. I don't think that. I think in second was Jace Cannon. So I don't think that was a pass for lead. I think Trevor's comfortably out front. But so that's Dante out front, where the champ is usually used to being most of the time. So the rest of the field's got to be shaking their head, going, "What do we do to beat this guy?" We're just going to keep throwing bushes at him.
That wrist brace working to perfection. Remember last year, Dante broke his collarbone when he collided with Malcolm Stewart and the Washougal Pro National. That hindered him for the late stages. Last year was still able to get it done and win the championship, and it looks like Dante has returned to form here. But if we learned anything in Glen Helen, that is, you just never know when one subtle mistake can cost you. Speaking of guys having a great year, how about Kai Aiello? Was wonderful to see him in the Supercross pits. He has made all 3 night shows of all 3 races he's entered. He's another one that's got to be one of the most versatile racers out there.
Yeah, no, Kai and one of our favorites with his mom throwing up the pit boards and doing the gas stops and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to have to put Craig Hunter back out in the pasture again, because he's telling us the wrong people again. we're looking at Kai Ayala, and he's telling us it's Cole Zeller. And so maybe we can get some money together and have Scott Perkins come off the couch and come spot for us.
Hey, in all seriousness, everybody watching home, we got a great live audience. You guys want to come out here with the binoculars, help us spot? We will take it. No shame in our game. Remember, if some people are like, hey, why are Jack and Mark Tilley missing some of these things? Remember, guys, 6-mile course. We got about 4 or 5 cameras out there. Everybody doing a great job. Ross Fitz production, Scott McElmore, all the boys, Mike Bertowski, everybody doing a wonderful job. But these things are hard to cover.
They are. Definitely. And if you look at it, we're looking at drone footage. And this is a drone footage to where the guy's got little goggles on. And he can't really tell who that person is if that's what it is. But, man, that drone footage right there and being able to see these guys do that kind of stuff out, nobody would have been able to see that. Like he'd have been talking about, oh yeah, I was doubling that, and nobody would know what he's talking about.
Maybe we can get our resident pilots, Chris McCarthy, to do a flyover one of these days. One of these, they could borrow an AA jet.
I think so.
Give us some old school coverage. Got about 14 minutes left to go. Moto KK leading the way in the women's category. I know Moto KK is going to have a big smile on her face because that's what when I was talking with her pre-race, I said, are the girls closing in on you? And she's like, look, I don't want to take anything away from them, but I was very, very ill in Glen Helen. I'm feeling better now. So you know what it's like when you got to just, put your head down and bear it. They say those championships are won on your worst days. She was feeling awful in Glen Helen, but still able to win it.
Yeah, no, it's when I'm already getting text messages. Scott Perkins says he's in for Fox Raceway. So we will have a quality spotter at Fox Raceway.
Looking forward to that. And, of course, we got the big two-stroke nationals coming up in Glen Helen. Boy, I'd love to see Dante on a two-stroke. I wonder if we could talk to Bobby D about putting together one of them KTM 300s and getting them out there.
He did that a few years back.
Oh, that'd be great.
He had won the championship, and then they raced a KTM 300. I believe that's when Nick Garvin was working for Dirt Bike Magazine. And we did a little two-stroke Tuesday and a little feature on the bike that he rode, and it was a pretty trick motorcycle. So, but yeah, the champ back out front and back where he belongs, and like I said, the rest of the guys got to kind of be scratching their heads, going, "What are we going to do to beat this guy?"
Well, Mark, since the Two-Stroke Nationals is a Dirt Bike Magazine event, maybe you can help me out with some politicking. I told Jakamo he's got to come out and ride. He said, I don't have a bike. I said, come on, Mitch Payton, 2 strokes? There's got to be a KX125. I said, where's the McGrath KX125 that was laying around a couple years ago? He said, I'll think about it. Maybe you could put a bug in Mitch's ear. Let's get Jakamo a KX250, 125, and let's get him out there.
Well, and there will be some 125 classes at that. There will be a 30-plus 125, I think a 40-plus and a 50-plus 125. Pasha is going to be putting that on. But, yeah, that we'll be back here, or we'll be back to Glen Helen in a couple weeks doing that. So there is a landing page on Dirt Bike Magazine's YouTube right now to where you can go out there and have them remind you. You'll get a little alert on when it comes up. But that we got all kinds of stuff in store for that. We got lots of motorcycles. I know I've talked to some people about Cycle Drag and you being there, and they're saying that they want some interviews and get some stuff going. And I know Brownie will be there, and the Milt from FXR and Andy from FXR will definitely be there. But there's going to be, I hear that Colton Ake might be there on a KX500.
The Cowboy. I love watching the Cowboy run the KX500 as you watch your leader, Dante Oliveira. Well, you say Brownie, I think of 2 Brownies, Carson Brown, Mike Brown. We need to get Craig Hunter on the phone. Maybe, what if we could get Carson Brown and Mike Brown to enter an NGPC this year? How cool would that be? Carson Brown's one of the fastest guys on the planet. I'd love to see some new blood come over here and challenge Dante. That's what I was asking Craig yesterday about. Has Caleb Russell ever thought about coming and running NGPC? Since Dante invaded the GNCC world, are we going to see some more of the GNCC boys over here?
See, I was talking to my buddy Tyler Shepardson from On the Pipe podcast, and I was telling him that, West Coast is the best coast and all that kind of stuff going from there. But so Caleb did come out here when he was on when he was on the KTM team. He did come out here. He struggled a little bit, and the speeds out here are that much different. But these guys crazy talented. I think that Thad Duvall came out here and actually won at at Havasu when he was on a Husky ride. I also did just get a text. We gotta let these people know that this is a great thing. I just got a text from the KTM team manager, Timmy Wiegand. And he says that Dante is racing the two-stroke national.
Yes, I love it.
He's racing the two-stroke national on a Bonanza Plumbing KTM.
Beautiful.
Help with factory backing. I just saw one of my test riders go through, Harlem Nelson going through on his Dirt Bike Magazine backed KTM 250, and so it's definitely cool to see all these guys. But so just more drama. Thanks for letting us know about that, Timmy, and more stuff happening that he is going to be there. Will there be a CR500 or a CR250 for Tyler Lynn to be riding? I know that Surratt owns a CR250, so maybe Mark Samuels. Are we going to do an SLR Honda at the two-stroke nationals? Let us know.
I cannot wait to see. I love my two-strokes. This man, Tyler Lynn. Not quite what he had hoped for after leading this race, but if he can salvage the day and stay atop the podium, I think SLR and Team Honda will be very, very pleased with that effort. About 10 minutes remaining in round number 4 of the Rocky Mountain ATV MC NGPC Series, presented by FMF, hosted by Desert MC and Grassroots Racing. What a start to the season it has been here. So many storylines, so much riding talent out here, so much great racing. It will set the stage for our next round coming up in Paula. Great look at that step up. These guys just making it look too easy. It was so cool yesterday too to see a lot of the spectators that there were guys yesterday, I want to say about 50 guys just camped out with coolers right on top of that hill, bending a few elbows, watching the step up right in front of them.
Doing those 12-ounce curls. But I got to hand it to the Grassroots Racing crew. There's lots of locals out here racing, lots of kids in the kids class racing. So, with big local support and big contingent of local people that are racing that series. And so shout out to them for what they're doing up here I believe they're up here in Mesquite area, and then they go up to they have a track in Utah and then a track in Preston, Idaho as well. So they're doing a great job. So it looks like we're looking at Moto KK, but in the Pro 2 class we got Mason Simmons, Sam Pritchard, Cole Zeller, Colton Ake, and Kaya Aiello rounding out the top 5, with Dustin Davis, the newcomer to the Pro 2 class, on his Zip Tie Racing back gas. So he's definitely making that step up to the higher division and making it a successful one.
Moto KK making that step up look easy. She's certainly back with authority. According to live timing and scoring, about a 2-minute lead for her after being in a tight battle with Glenn Helen. Great job for the multi-time amateur champion and the 2-time defending women's champion out here in NGPC. It'll be very interesting to see how she will do in outdoor pro motocross. I know that the Dirt Bike Magazine crew will be following that one closely. Wouldn't it be something if Moto KK could get the win out there a few times?
Yeah, representing the off-road world and making it all look good. So it's definitely the other thing that you got to say about the crew here at the Mesquite MX is they were able to change the course for the kids. The kids didn't do the up top or any of the sand, and they were able to kind of adapt that and make it to where kids all the way from, I saw an XR50 out there and just kind of putting around, but there was 50 racers, 65s. My son, Austin Tilley, was in the 65 class, and like I said, getting that win. And then my older son, Jacob Tilley, in the 125 class, that he had to race the whole course, and he wasn't very happy about it because, as you can see, it's rough now. Yesterday, it was definitely a little bit rougher, but these guys definitely putting down the work and making it to where it's fun to do. So great job to the whole crew out here doing the track maintenance and track prep and getting everything so we can race out here and doing it in record time. So it's pretty amazing.
Yes, thank you very much. And a lot of changes coming into this race, but one thing that remains the same is that man, the big number 1 of the factory Red Bull KTM rider, Dante Oliveira. Boffo performance, he's out on a Sunday drive, continues to pull away. Have we seen the white flag yet, or will be a white flag this time by
But maybe we can ask Scott Perkins.
Maybe we can ask Scott Perkins. We'll get Craig Hunter to give us an update over there. I think he's coming in.
We're getting hand gestures.
Right now he's saying your number was one to go.
I think he was saying I'm number one, but it might be one to go as well. But
he used his middle finger to tell us one to go.
Yeah, one to go. It's kind of an odd way of doing it, but it's pretty amazing that this drone footage that Skaggs Racing is bringing us. It blows my mind because I rode this course and it's not that easy. It's definitely not that easy. Those guys are making it look easy. I mean, from the WP suspension technicians on the factory KTM team to all of the work that Dante's putting in, he's making that look like there's no bumps out there.
All right, the white flag will be coming out this time. But how about that? We got an update from the talented Craig Hunter. Thank you very much, Craig. We do appreciate it.
That's because Perkins called him.
Gotta love it, ladies and gentlemen, as we continue on. Absolutely loving it. We want to give a big shout out to our normal director, Aaron Kennard, the talented man. He was working Supercross this weekend, wasn't with us. He's watching live. He'll be back with us in Paula. We got a great team here, 100%. Just loving how these broadcasts get better. I can't tell you guys, I said thank your local promoter, thank your local streaming staff, because these are harder to put on than you could ever imagine. The amount of equipment they got to put in the van and set up.
There's nowhere else that you get this kind of drone footage. We were just talking about this the other day about, GNCC has their live coverage and everything like that, and you have four solid cameras. We have solid cameras, and these drone footage, I think you were the one that told me that a lot of the drone guys that work here, they actually race the drones.
Yes.
And so, that's pretty amazing. And where else are you going to go to get this kind of footage right in your living room? And we give Craig and Mike and everybody at NGPC a bad time, but they're doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes and they're the ones that are making a lot of this happen with going out and getting the sponsors to do this kind of stuff and make it to where we can see this kind of stuff. So, if you do see these guys at the races or whatever, tell them thanks for their hard work, and then you can give them a bad time afterwards, just like we do.
Yeah, very talented drone crew out of Arizona. We really appreciate those guys. As we take a look, just white flag is out. We're closing in on a finish. We believe it's going to be, at this point, Dante Oliveira, Michaela Moto Nielsen, and Max Simmons. Speaking of our talented drone operator, big shout out to Max Massano, one of the experts out there out of Arizona, doing a wonderful job. We haven't talked a whole lot about Mason Simmons too. We gotta give him a big tip of the cap because he continues to assert his dominance out there in the Pro 2 category. Another one, just like Dante, was injured last year, had a right ankle surgery in June, suffered a Liz Frank, but he is back off the schneid, and he said he really owes a lot to his moto coach, Robbie Bell. He said they trained so hard in Southern California. Glenn, Helen, Paula, big shout out to Simmons and his teammate Sam Pretchard, both from Australia, but they train in SoCal, and they have done a remarkable job in Pro 2. If I was Dante Oliveira, not that he'd be intimidated or anything, but those are two guys I'd be looking back on as guys that are going to be joining the 450 ranks real soon. Exactly, and if the support's out there, they're definitely going to get it. So it looks like Dante's got kind of a comfortable lead right there. It's we'll see Dare DeMartell going backwards on the track, looking at that's kind of the distance between first and second. So, and then Tyler and Lynn has about the same distance, I believe, back to Tyler. So it looks like he's still hanging in there in third. So right here, they're coming through this little chicane. They'll go up that pro-only uphill and downhill, and then they'll come into the scoring section right after that. So this we haven't seen this angle yet, but so this wasn't ran all weekend long. It was only ran when this race started. So these guys, I think they got to walk it. I don't think that they ran it yesterday in just like the Enduro class. So right now he's going to come in and his little triple right here. That he just makes look easy. It took me to do that triple out of that corner. It took me half the day on the practice day, and my son Jacob had to tell me how to do it. So it was he's making all this look so easy. It's pretty amazing. So we'll see if the white flag is going to come out right now. A Sunday drive for Dante
it's out.
Oliveira. There is your white flag, ladies and gentlemen. 1 to go. And this is what I talked about at the beginning of the race. Some of you who think these are 90 minutes, because we're about to hit the 90-minute mark now. It's a minimum of 90 minutes. And just the way fate would have it here, we're probably going to go about, 98, 99. But Dante Oliveira not worried about it. One more time around this track. And he does have some lappers to contend with, so this one not over with just yet. Let's hope those lappers know that they are out of this battle. But like I said, everybody's just so spread out all throughout this 6-mile course. It's been very entertaining, very interesting. Dante Oliveira back out in front. There's some of the aforementioned lappers.
And those guys are actually probably happy that he's lapping them if they know that the white flag's out, because they're probably pretty happy to see that white flag.
Yes, indeed. This track will take everything out of you. It will take every ounce of conditioning you have. This is when all those hours in the gym, all of those hours cycling, all of those hours on the practice bikes pay off. Let's watch Dante sky it up over the step up, fistful of throttle, bam! Cleared it by about 20 feet. Beautiful. I hope everybody has an opportunity to have a picnic up there one day. And I don't want to advertise. Maybe the folks at Mesquite MX don't like me saying this, but up there, no admission fee. Maybe. That's the cheap seat. Hey, there's been points in my life where I've had to take advantage of the cheap seats.
Exactly.
You get what you can. And
Well,
that is one heck of a show.
And you're seeing some people leaving right now, but that out there, the shot that you just saw was the golf course we were mentioning. You do have to drive through a golf course to get to this facility. So Mateo making that look easy. That's a big jump.
Yeah, has Mateo worked his way up to 4th, I do believe? Mateo was leading this, remember, had contact, we think, with Tyler Lynn, went down, fighting to get back up. Tyler Lynn also went down, and that's what we knew would happen. We knew that this racetrack would create some mistakes.
So yeah,
rutted,
it looks
very
like
dusty.
overall right now, according to live timing and scoring, overall right now, Dante Oliveira is leading. Dare D. Martel's in second. Tyler Lynn's in third. Mateo Oliveira's in fourth. Jakamo Rodondi's in fifth. Mason Simmons is actually the first in the Pro 2 class, running sixth overall with Sam Pritchard behind him in seventh and Cole Zeller in eighth. Colton Ake is running in ninth, and Kai Aiello rounds out the top 10.
And it doesn't appear that the perceived disadvantages of the scoop are rearing their head, because all of our scoop racers out there leading, they worry that the scoop may wear down towards the end of this race. Doesn't seem to be giving Dante Oliveira any problems at all.
Yeah, like I said, he's making this look really easy, and this is actually a really fun section to where you come through and then you kind of go into like a little grass. It's kind of loamy dirt right in there, and you make a hard left right before you hit some horse corrals. So, and then back into the sand again. So
look at some of those deep ruts, some of those acceleration and braking bumps. Unbelievable. Dante Oliveira, though, folks, he's one of the greatest dirt bike racers in the world. I believe unsung. We certainly sing his praises here because he deserves it. He can hang outdoor nationals. I believe, it's interesting, too, where everybody's focus is and what everybody's goals are. We talked to Dante, and I really asked him, what's next? And he said, not going to do outdoor this year, not going to worry about GNCC. 6 days is his big goal. That is the one he really wants to win.
Well, and yeah, there's lots of 6 days. KTM is a huge part of the American 6 days. Auntie is instrumental in everything that's going on there, so I can definitely understand that. That's a huge priority to them. This looks like we're watching the battle for second in the Pro 2 class. That's Sam Pritchard out in front of Cole Zeller right there, and that might be Mason. No, that's not Mason in front of them. He's got a bigger lead than that. But Sam looking back, going, "Who is this?" on the last lap, trying to get past me. But yeah, that's battle for position, and it looks like they're coming by Moto KK.
Look at these Husqvarnas cruising around the racetrack. You fight for 96 minutes, and you're still nose to tail, fighting for the finish line. Gotta love it.
And they're just starting the last lap, so they're gonna be battling like that. That's for second place in the Pro 2 class. So
Dante making his way around the track. He's actually out in the sand section of the track down below, and what would be, I guess, the riverbed out here. But so Sam and Cole, neither one of those guys has any give up in them at all. They're going to be battling like it's the first lap on the last lap.
Well, orange bikes, white bikes out in front. Big shout out to the Pierre Mobility Group. And if you remember a few months ago, I'm glad everything's okay. They faced a little bit of financial uncertainty in the headlines. Hope everything's stabilizing with that company. Mark, you hearing anything about the future of Husky, Gas, KTM? We're going to be okay here?
I think the future is going to be bright. I think it's just like anything. There's some restructuring that has to go on, but they're still out here racing. They're a company built on racing, and the Pierre Mobility Group, they're just a bunch of racers. So I think they're gonna be fine. They're selling enough motorcycles, making a quality product. So I don't think we got anything to really worry about. There's a river in the background, but yeah, I think that they're ready to go.
That is the aforementioned Virgin River. As you take a look at the beautiful surroundings here, Mesquite, Nevada. Like I said, quickest growing community in Nevada. More than 20,000 people live here. It used to be a ghost town, but now snowbirds flocking to it left and right. And I got to be honest with you, boy, it would be a bad place to live. About an hour and a half from Vegas, not quite as busy as Vegas, not quite as pricey. And if you ride a dirt bike or you like to golf,
you can go just about anywhere.
That's right. Also, a nice casino here, Virgin River Casino. We were checking that out yesterday.
And there was a huge contingent of UTV drivers and people at the Virgin River Hotel and Casino. Apparently, that's a huge thing out here for people just to kind of drive around in there and go on tours and stuff like that. I know one of the magazines that we have is Dirt Wheels magazine. I know Kane Smead, who is the editor of that magazine, lives in Idaho and a very accomplished off-road driver when it comes to that stuff. And he says that, the guided tours is all the rave right now. And I was blown away with how many people were in UTVs at the casino.
Racing to a finish here in Mesquite, Nevada. I got an idea, Mark, I'm going to throw out there since we're talking so much about Mesquite. Maybe, how about you, me, and Dante go check out the Donkey Museum here in Mesquite? You up for that? No admission. World's only donkey museum, from what we know about. If you guys know anything about the Donkey Museum,
I'm thinking you're going to be looking at the donkeys by yourself. I got to load up motorcycles and everything and drive back home to do some testing tomorrow. So, but this man's done all of his testing, everything that he needs. He's making these guys scratch their head again. It looks like that might be Bobby D.
Rolling through Bobby D.
Out telling him that he's back on top where he belongs, and I'm excited now. He's coming to the two-stroke race on a KTM 300, and I know that Carson Brown's coming to the two-stroke race because excited. He was just at my house last weekend and he was testing some surprises that we might actually see at the two-stroke race, and I don't want to steal any luster from him, but he's got lots of surprises up his sleeve. He was doing some beta testing and last year he rode a KTM 300 in a RMZ chassis, and he's got a YZ250, and then there might be some other stuff, maybe bigger bore stuff that he's bringing to the table too. So don't forget to go and get the alert on that on Dirt Bike Magazine's YouTube channel, because it's going to be pretty cool. And then I know you're going to have some really cool stuff, because you always walk around the pits and find the coolest stuff that's there. So is that Racing Jack YouTube or is that Cycle Drag YouTube?
Both of them.
Okay.
Can't lose. How about that? We'll give everybody as much exposure as we can. I'll tell you one thing I got that I am going to feature from this race. Up on top of that hill yesterday, I told you Jakamo and Moto KK almost colliding on the step-up, but both did such a great job saving it. As we continue to take a look at Darren DeMartile. Nothing to hang his head about at all. Great performance on the 480 RR. Certainly hope we get some contract news with him sooner rather than later. Would love to hear that he gets signed with Factory Beta for many years to come. I don't know if Timmy Wiegand, what type of deal he has with Dante, but hopefully it's just ironclad, locked up for. They better offer this guy a lifetime contract.
It would be smart to lock up that family for sure. So, and I think that all those guys are on top of it. And like you said, 6 days is a big part of their program, and these guys know the importance of 6 days. So, and it's great. We have some of the best riders in the United States going to represent us. And we got to thank KTM for a lot of that, because Auntie from KTM was, like I said, a big part in making that program what it is today.
No doubt about it, guys. As we continue on racing for a finish, Dante Oliveira trying to put it together after a fourth in Glen Helen, after missing the podium for the first time since Idaho 2022. The Bobby Dawson tuned machine out of Temecula, California, ridden by the one and only Dante Oliveira, trying to get off the Schneid, take the win. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to the checkered flag and your five-time defending champion, winner today, the one and only Dante Oliveira.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. And there's the Hintz family right there doing all the scoring and greeting Dante.
Now, who is it? Is it Dare DeMartil looking to come in second, or did Tyler Lynn get around him? We're not sure just yet. Lynn fighting for a podium. Dare DeMartil trying to put that factory beta 480RR up on the box. Let's watch closely as we race to a finish here. We also have the Pro 2 coming in. We've got a women's finish as well. And there is the 24. Is Dare out in front of him, or did Tyler get around?
Yeah, I think
that's number
third.
3 spot. So Dare DeMartil coming in as well. We'll see him in just a little bit, but nothing to be ashamed about for Tyler Lynn. Raced hard yesterday in Mexico, rode 10 hours in the Sprinter van, got here, and he comes home on top of the box, on the podium. Great finish for Team SLR as Tyler Lynn takes the checkers. Great job, young man.
Yeah, no, that's an amazing feat. He's had a busy week. Definitely has had a busy week, and I think we're going to bring all these guys right up to the podium, and we might be talking to them pretty soon.
You know something I'm noticing too? Nobody going crazy out there, jumping up and down. You know what that means? They're exhausted. This track, even Dante getting the microfiber towel out there. Bobby Dawson taking a look at that. I wonder how's that scoop tire looking out there, Bobby Dawson? Did it hold up? Dare DeMartil, congratulations to him. His father, Brody, paying extra attention to that airbox, getting that finely tuned machine to the finish line. Great battle between manufacturers. It'll be KTM, Beta, Honda, 1, 2, 3 here in the Open Pro category in round number 4. As we await, we believe, Mason Simmons.
Yeah, we're going to see what that... So there's Mason going across the finish line.
And, man, we talked about his 7th overall at Glen Helen. That's got to be like officially unofficial. I think that might be a top 5 overall for Simmons.
Yeah.
5, 6.
Well, let's look.
We'll look. I didn't see too many of the Open Pro guys come in just yet. I don't know if he beat 6th overall on a 250.
So now we're waiting to see he dominated that class. The second place hasn't even come across, and that's going to be a good battle all the way. That's the battle we were watching starting of that with Sam and Cole Zeller.
Yeah, we'll see where the Cowboy Colton Eck comes in too. He's salvaging points. He won the first race, suffered a bad injury, and has been getting better each and every time out. So we wish the best for that Kawasaki team. We'll see how he finishes, how Zeller and Pretschar finish. But there is the winning duo, the defending 5-time champions. Did I mention?
There we go. There's
here we
the battle
go.
for a second.
We got a battle to the stripe.
Sam out in front of Cole right now. It's going to be hard to make any kind of pass coming out unless there's some kind of mistake. But, man, that is awesome racing. They started the lap that close, and they finished the lap that close. That's pretty amazing. Talk about spiking your heart rate right at the very end.
Oh, Sam Pretschar, a sigh of relief. Checkered flags. Cole Zeller on the Husqvarnas coming in. Hard fought. Top 10 finishes, podium finishes.
Awesome.
Look at the camaraderie out there. That's great. To battle like that, tooth and nail, and then to share some hugs in the pits. That is super, super cool. We've still got lots of people to finish here from a beautiful day, Mesquite NX. There is the big number 1 of Moto KK Nielsen. Boy, she came back with authority. Some people wondering, I was reading the Cycle News article, and they were speculating that maybe Ava had really closed in, and Moto KK was, one of her quotes was, I really don't like letting Ava get that confidence built because I know she's so fast, but Moto KK has sent a statement here today. She is back healthy.
And it looks like Moto KK is running around in 27th overall. And then Ava is in 35th overall.
Two fast women, that's for sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to line up next to them, that's for sure.
My goodness. My goodness, they are fast.
Again, SLR Honda's on the women's podium, on top of the women's podium, and in third on the Open Pro podium. So Mark Samuel's doing something right over there, that's for sure.
Yeah, and Moto KK again training with Robbie Bell week in, week out. Her father giving her great advice, proud member of Corona, California PD. Big shout out to him. Here comes the checkers. Your winner in the Pro Women's Division, Moto KK Nielsen. Gets it done.
Looked like that was Colton Eck finishing right in front of her.
Cowboy Colton Eck, good run.
And Colton being 9th overall and finishing 4th in the Pro 2 class.
Great racing. Now, I can tell you, the first 4 rounds have just been blockbusters out here in the NGPC series. I have loved it. I don't want to dog any of our previous years, but I felt like we've had a lot of checkout winners in years past. We've seen some great racing this year.
Kai Ello coming across on his Husky.
So that trend continues.
Kai rounding out the top 10 overall.
Right through the Yamaha finish line here.
Yeah, no, it's like we were saying before, there's a lot of different classes on this track. It's not just the pros that are out there on the track. There's, the plus 25 class that we talk about with Trevor Hunter. There's the 4-stroke A class. There's the 2-stroke A class. There's, kids that have just kind of stepped up to doing there. There goes Ty Davis's son, Dustin Davis. But it's kids that have just stepped up into going from 45-minute motos to now doing hour-and-a-half motos. And you got to give a shout-out to all those kids for putting in the work.
Racing to a finish. What a round it was. Round number 4 of the NGPC series presented to you by FMF, Rocky Mountain MC ATV. Thank you to all the great sponsors who continue to make this happen. We can't tell you how much we appreciate all your support and all the support you give the 1,100 plus riders that showed up this weekend. I can't believe, like I said, it was just 2 months ago that I got a call from an NGPC official that unfortunately round 4 scheduled for 29 Palms is off. We don't have a place to go. That's when word got out. That's when calls started being made, and that is when the solution came about. The Desert MC Mesquite MX would step up and on short notice host this round of racing, and it's been a great one. As we take a look at, there is Ava Silvestri, the world's fastest gas racer. We got to spend some time with her. She'll be happy that no running out of gas this race. They pitted. It looks like Ava in position to come home on top of the box. And what I love here is Mark Tilley is such a good PR coach for her. Always reminds her to be positive. She's so hard on herself. We've seen her for years. I was too slow. She's one of the fastest women in the world, and it's not easy chasing Moto KK. That's for sure.
I guess so.
Congratulations, Ava Silvestri on the gas. And look at that. Is that Trevor Hunter, the 22? The Dua Lipa fan, the Swiftie coming in. Did he win 25? He was well ahead of everybody.
Yeah, no, he definitely in his Swiftie gear out there. And we just got a note from our reporter, our couch reporter, Mr. Perkins, saying refresh your feed. And Mason Simmons finished 4th overall.
Oh, 4th overall. And now let's think about this, guys. He was on a 250. And what was the staggered start? About a minute, 60 seconds back he started? No. 30 seconds?
No, this one was closer. It was, I would say, more like 20 or 30 seconds.
Still, think about that. Started 20 seconds behind and is on a 250. Mark Tilley's going to get to the podium. We're going to hear from our top finishers here in just a little bit as we continue to watch individuals flow through. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, let us know out there in the comments. We appreciate you so much. Mark Tilley from Dirt Bike Magazine. My name's Jack Rapella from Racing Jack on YouTube. Make sure you check that out as well as we try to keep you updated on all things NGPC. Love this series. Totally enamored with it. No Supercross for me this week. I'd rather be here. The NGPC. I love Supercross, but I love the NGPC. I love the show they put on. I love the long 90-minute motos. And I love the hard-earned gratification of a win on a demanding, grueling track like this. Beautiful. Beautiful day for racing. All roads now lead us to the two-stroke nationals at Glen Helen and round number 5 of NGPC that will be coming up at Paula MX. Can't wait for that one, as we are just moments away from talking to our top finishers. Dante Oliveira getting back on top of the box for factory Red Bull KTM, and a great performance for Dare DeMartil, factory Beta as well. Tyler Lynn, SLR Honda. Your top 3, we do believe, unless anything changed. You never know with timing and scoring. So we'll see that officially in just a little bit, as we give you a look at Mesquite, Nevada, home of the Donkey Museum, home of the Virgin River, home of the Virgin Mountains and the Mesquite Mountains, about an hour and a half from Sin City, Las Vegas, right on the border of Utah, not far from the border of Arizona. Look at these beautiful, tranquil surroundings. Can you see why so many snowbirds are flocking to this area? Pretty good place to set up and escape the cold weather, escape the snow here in golf country, here in motocross country, here at Mesquite MX. We really appreciate Honda, our presenting sponsor of this beautiful live stream here today. Look at that view. It's like a postcard. Wish you were here. Well, if you weren't here, sorry about that. But we're going to hear from our podium finishers in just a little bit. For now, we're going to step aside, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back with the conclusion of round number 4 of the Rocky Mountain ATV MC NGPC series, presented by FMF, hosted by Desert MC and Grassroots Racing. We'll be right back.
I'm Jeremy McGrath, and I trust Maxxis tires. It's the only way I roll.
Welcome back to round number 4 of the NGPC series presented by FMF Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Take a look at this beautiful course. Looks very scenic, very subtle up here, but that is grueling down below. Hard-earned podium finishes in all of our categories. Let's take a look at some of these results. Dante Oliveira off the schneid, back on top of the box as he gets in front of Dare DeMartil. Great ride for him out there on the factory beta. And Tyler Lynn, after appearing in Mexico yesterday, a 10-hour ride here, comes home with another podium finish for SLR Honda. Great job by Mateo Oliveira, Jakamo Rodondi, Ryan Surratt, Evan Stice, and Timothy Barnum, your top 3 finishers. And in fact, right now, Dirt Bike Magazine's Mark Tilley is standing by with our top 3. Let's send it down to Mark.
I guess we're live now. All right, Jack, thank you very much. We're down here with a very well-traveled Tyler Lynn. Now, Scott Perkins was telling me that you only live about 3 hours from here, so you're kind of on your way home. But you've been racing in Baja, won the San Felipe 250, and then just decided that you're going to come up here and go racing. Tell us about your race.
Yeah. Obviously, we raced the San Felipe 250 yesterday. This is actually probably the shortest day on the bike that I've had in the last week, so I'm a little tired, but man, got off to a really good start. Just came into the first corner. Jakamo me and him kind of came together. He kind of T-boned me a little bit, but it put me back. But just put my head down and started putting down some clean lines, some clean laps, and just made a few passes and got into second right behind Mateo, and we both our lines came together and we locked bars, and we both went, or he went down and I went flying off the track. And then after that, just led the next few laps until I unfortunately went down, and just kind of all my energy was drained after that, from racing yesterday, and these guys was on it.
So you said you went down after your incident with Mateo for the lead. Where did you go down on this track? Because they got to see on the live feed a lot of the places on where. So where did you actually go down?
Yeah, so there's the grassy flat track section. There's one silty left-hander right before it, and I just hit a hidden rock that I couldn't see and cartwheeled the bike and pile drived myself into the ground. And it is what it is.
All right, so you're probably getting pretty good at these podium speeches in the last couple weeks or whatever. But who helps you get here?
Yeah, obviously the mechanics, Mark, the whole Monster Energy SLR Honda team. They all work their butts off, all the companies that support us, IMS, Dunlop, Showa, ODI, Seat Concepts, Pro Circuit, and man, my family, my fiance, it all plays together into this big program, and I just can't thank everybody enough.
All right, well, you got probably one of the shorter drives, so congratulations on your third place finish, and go get some much needed rest. So we're going to walk over here to second place, and factory beta rider Dare DeMartil. Now, you started up front, ran up front. It looks like the tire is feeling some of that beta power, but tell us about your race.
Man, my race was good. Got off to a good start, and it was a hard first couple laps. We were all dicing together. Mateo ended up getting around me, and Lynn got around me on the back straightaway by the road there, and I just I was trying to ride my own pace and do what I can, and it was good. I ended up getting in the lead after Lynn went down. And I just did my best, and Dante ended up getting me with a hour in right before pit. We pitted in different laps, so it was cool. We were kind of separated from each other, but my whole Beta USA team, thank you so much. It's been awesome. The bike was handling great. Bridgestone tires. It's hard to pick a tire for this track because we have so much sand in the back and so much hard pack in the front. So you want to run a scoop for the sand, but you got to be careful running a scoop for the hard pack. So it was the Bridgestone tire was awesome. The whole Beta USA team, everyone that supports us, Mika Metals, Liqui Moly, Samco Sports, Works Connection, Moz Powder Coating, Regina Chains, FMF, ARC Levers, everyone, man, thank you so much. It's been an awesome year, and we're plugging away.
All right, and we hear that this year is a contract year for you, as Jack was telling us. So we think that Beta should step up and bring you and your dad back, because your dad doing all your work on your bike. And I know since he's been doing all that stuff, you definitely stepped your game up. So congratulations on second place finish. And is there anybody else you'd like to thank?
Yeah, for sure. My mom and dad and my sister, of course, everybody that, all my friends and my girl, everyone that supports me. It's been awesome. So yeah, I'm just going to keep plugging away. And, I think Beta's definitely going to re-sign me. You know, I've been with him for 3 years now. And like I said, we came a long way. We started not finishing races, and now we're on the box almost every round. So it's cool.
Yeah, I don't think you have anything to worry about there either. So now we turn around to the man that we like to call 5-time. I'm not going to do the thing that Jack does, but but Dante back on top. I guess the last round was the only round that you've been off the podium in a few years. So you kind of started off a little bit slower than you normally do, and then kind of worked your way to the front. So tell us how you did it.
Yeah, not too good of a start, but kind of planned there. I didn't want anybody seeing my lines. I had some heaters back there, and you can't let them keep up with that. So, yeah, all in all, had my work cut out for me off the bat, but Mateo and Tyler just handed me and Dare over 2 easy passes, so that was nice. And me and Dare got to battle it out for a little bit. Had a nice pass around the outside on Dare, pitted the lap before him, and then chased him down the following lap and got into the lead, and smooth race to the end.
So now that you're back on top, I know that these guys are all shaking their heads wondering what it's going to take to beat you. And then we heard from race team manager Timmy Wiegand that next week you will be, or not next week, but later on this month, you're going to be sporting a 2-stroke.
Yes, sir. Back to the 300 SX. I'm super excited. It's been a long time since I've ridden the 2-stroke, so I'm ready for it.
All right, well, there you have it. Breaking news. He will be on a 300 at the 2-Stroke Nationals here shortly in a couple weeks on Dirt Bike Magazine's YouTube channel. So back to you, Jack.
Well, thank you so much, and congratulations. We got to give it one more time to the 5-time Dante Oliver. Hopefully Dante likes hearing that. Congratulations. It is going to be great to see him at the 2-Stroke Nationals. I know that. And from what I understand, we're actually going to pay a little homage to the 25-plus category, where I cannot wait to talk to Trevor Hunter and see how he was able to get it done today. But congratulations, guys. 3 of the top talents in the world, Dante Oliveira, Tyler Lynn, Dare DeMartille. Big tip of the cap to all 3 of those guys. Hard-fought race today. Very entertaining. Can't wait for the 2-Stroke Nationals. Can't wait for round number 5 of NGPC. Coming up in Paula, looks like, Dante's going to uncork that. Watch out. Nobody is safe. Also got to give a big shout-out to Mateo Oliveira's mechanic stepping up. Thank you very much. Nick Saylor stepping in for the sick Josh Zoppel. Oh, and it's about, watch out, Mark Tilley. Tilley's going to get soaked. Dante, did you get Tilley? Poor Tilley's going to get a DUI on the way home, and he's completely sober. Oh, no, officer, I haven't been drinking. Good luck with that one. There is NGPC's Craig Hunter making sure he's about ready to get sprayed as well. Great race, guys. Congratulations. As we turn our attention to the next round. Oh, and look at that is dedication. Bobby Dawson's like, man, this motorcycle is my pride and joy, and you just doused it with champagne. He's going to get the microfiber out immediately and make sure that champagne does not impact any of those graphics, electronics, or bearings. As we give you a look at the 25-plus Junior A category, winning this race by a margin of about 40 seconds, the 22 of the very talented Trevor Hunter. Congratulations, did a great job out there. Jace Cannon with a wonderful ride as well. H660 comes home with a second, and on the box, H774, that is Bradley Denton. These guys did a great job. We'll take a look at the rest of the field. Colton Lynn, Nick Nees, Hayden Hintz, who actually is Trevor Hunter's desert racing partner, comes home with a 6. Good run for him. Mason Stifler in the number 7 spot. Nick Stover, 8. Speaking of Best in the Desert, Nolan Rudd from Best in the Desert doing a great job. He comes home with a top 10 performance. And Preston Pheasant rounding out your top 10 today. NGPC round number 4, Mesquite MX Park, as we get ready to hear from our 25-plus. And, you know, I got one question I'm going to sneak in. Maybe Mark can sneak in. Is I want to know, I was kind of putting Trevor on the spot and asking him, man, what do you got to do to step up to the pro class? And he looked at me and said, man, I think I'm going to stay down here. I think Trevor could hang in the pro class, and, you know, certainly he's got some good mentors out there that can help him get there. Kawasaki, Yamaha, and Honda. Great parity amongst the manufacturers as well. Of course, the Kawasaki back 22 of Trevor Hunter, our resident Swiftie, taking it home. And I think we're ready. I'll wait till I get the official cue. I don't want to send it to you guys too soon, but in just a few moments, we are going to hear from our 25 plus. Now, I believe Mark Tilley's ready. Mark, let's send it down to you.
Okay, Jack, we're down here, and this is the first time that we're actually going to feature the 25 plus class on the podium. We have Bradley Denton, who finished on his TRE-backed Yamaha in third overall in the 25 plus class. So I don't know about how many of these you've done or anything like that, but tell us about your race and tell us about what brought you to the series.
So I've been racing since 2009. It's been quite a while. This was actually my first race, was with the Big Six back when it was called that, Kahia Creek. And then I switched over to motocross for a little while, and then I came on back because these are just so much fun. I don't get to ride as much as I used to with work and everything, so it's nice to be able to ride a lot on the weekends.
So how was your race? Where did you start? We were talking about Mr. Hunter over here a lot, but we weren't really going back down in the 25A class because it was kind of all jumbled up. But tell us about your race a little bit.
The start was decent. We're kind of bumping around. I think I was about third. And then I just was so fired up. I want to give a big shout out to my boy Matt. Shake and Bake, he got me fired up. He's like, dude, they are interviewing for the 25 plus class. And I said, hey, I'm getting on that podium. And we made it happen today. I'm so stoked. Yeah, so shout out to all the Racers Edge boys, my buddy Austin for coming with me so we could split gas and all that because we could not have done it without that. Yeah, I'm just fired up.
All right, well, hopefully we see you in more races, and it sounds like you are fired up and you're ready to come back. Is there anybody else you'd like to thank?
Yeah, big shout out to X-Brand. Had clear vision the entire time. Fast House, they've been helping me out a ton. Fast Lane, Motor Fuels, and Simi Valley for the race gas. That might have been the extra edge I needed today. And then Dave McCarthy for helping out with some gas to get me here. I haven't been up here in a long time. I'm probably forgetting people, but thank you so much, everybody. It's been a long time coming, but we're back.
All right, well, congratulations on your third place finish, and hope to see you at the next one.
Thank you.
All right, Jack, we're going to come over here to Jace Cannon. Jace, you finished second in the plus 25 class. It looks like your Maxxis soft terrain tire looks like it's held up a little bit better than some of the other tires that we've seen, but tell us about your race.
It wasn't too bad. I actually got off to a really good start. I don't know if I pulled the whole shot, but shot up the hill first and just tried to get a gap. Unfortunately, when I got back onto the vet track, I made a little mistake, tucked the front, and that was pretty much that. So got up, just tried to put in smooth, consistent laps. Track out there is so gnarly. Started getting pretty dry at the end. You couldn't really see if you got behind someone. So, yeah, it was fun. It was good.
All right, now, so have you been doing the series, or is this one of your first rounds, or are we going to see you at more?
This is my very first NGPC. I heard a ton about the race series, and it's pretty dang sweet so far. So probably going to come do a couple more. I mainly do the motocross stuff. Going to try and qualify for some of the pro motocross stuff later this summer. So this is a good workout for it. So, yeah.
All right, well, congratulations on your second place finish. Is there anybody else you'd like to thank for getting you here?
Yeah. I want to send a huge shout out to Rocky Mountain, Zul's Fast Company, Factory Off-Road. Those guys got me in and out of my pit super quick. Colin Construction, Seat Concepts. I mean, there's a ton of people that back me. My girlfriend that's out here, she's out here every single weekend. So, nothing but thanks.
All right, and it looks like you're going to cash in on some of that Maxxis contingency money, too. So finishing on the podium, getting some money there. And then we turn around to what me and Jack like to refer to as the Swiftie. And you got the Swiftie gear on, and we're not going to believe that you're not a Swiftie. And because we know your dad is. Like, he's got rainbow on underneath that for sure. So, again, out front, you didn't start out front, but you finished out front. Tell us a little bit about your race.
Yeah, I've been sick all week, so I was pretty low on energy and pretty weak. But so I got out front pretty quick here on the first lap, and then tried to manage the race. Once I shook the arm pump after halfway, I started putting in a little smoother laps, but the boys kept me on this whole race, and just trying to survive out there and get to the finish.
All right, well, it looks like you're going to not only cash in on the Swifty money, but it looks like you have a Cowie that you're going to get some extra money from as well. And is there anybody you'd like to thank besides your dad for getting you?
Just thank Kawasaki, 1-800 Dent Doc for paintless dent repair, dirt bike test, GPR, Cole at Fast Company, Rye Guy at Corner Coach, Pro Circuit, and everyone else. Thank you.
All right, there you have it, Jack. That's the plus 25A class. Now back to you.
Job by all of our 25 plus A riders. That was so cool too. Hearing the gentleman who you talked about who said, I have an opportunity for an interview. I'm getting on the podium. Anything that motivates you, that is awesome. And congratulations, Trevor Hunter, coming home with a big win as we give you a look high atop Mesquite, Nevada. What a day it was. What a great round it was. Let's give you a look at the unofficial results here in the Pro 2 category. Mason Simmons getting it done once again, all the way from Australia. This fine young man, I don't know exactly where he finished overall. I think we think 4th or 5th, which is just remarkable considering the gap, considering the fact that he's on a 250, not a 450. Samuel Pretschar coming home 2nd. Cole Zeller on top of the box as well. Cowboy Colton Eck salvaging a great performance. He's 4th. Kai Iolo 5th. Dustin Davis 6th. Noah Gordon 7th. Chase Aldred 8th. Jackson Glather 9th. And DJ Weber rounding out your top 10 today in the Pro 2 category. Also, Zachary Curling, Jordan Mass, Ashton Wilkinson, Justin Patton, and Alexandru Trapp rounding out the top 15 in the hotly contested Pro 2 category. What a battle it was, and I do believe that was a quick change. Mark Tilley is ready with our podium finishers. Mark, take it away.
Well, Jack, we're back down here with the Pro 2 guys. They're getting really good at switching their bikes in and out. I think they want to get out of here. So we're down here with Cole Zeller. And Cole, racing for 90 minutes and then having the battle of probably the entire race on the last lap with Sam had to spike your heart rate.
Yeah, I think when I got off, it was like 190s at least, so that was gnarly. Sam ran a good race. I wish I could have rode a little bit looser in the beginning of the race, and we wouldn't have been so. Sam wouldn't have been so close and wouldn't have been able to capitalize on that. But cheers to him, and I'm happy to be up here. But I could do without another third. So.
Well, now, when you do that, when you are racing for that long and then all of a sudden you have to dig a little bit deeper and go probably faster on the last lap than you did on the first lap, how do you train for something like that?
Yeah, I mean, we just put in the work in the gym with Cameron Crissa, with Gainslinger, and on the bike with Robbie Bell. We do a lot of work during the week, and this is what we train for, so I'm glad that I have it when I need it.
All right, well, congratulations on your third place finish. Is there anybody else you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my whole family, my dad for wrenching on the bike, my beautiful girlfriend for being here every weekend, her dad for coming out this weekend. It was awesome to have him. Gainsinger Human Performance, Husqvarna, Nitro Moose, Rhino Power, Dunlop, Precision Concepts, Hunt Racing, Pro Taper, Lake Elsinore Casino, The Lab, Pro Circuit, VP, IMS, everyone else, man, you guys are awesome. Thanks so much.
All right, well, we'll work our way over here, and we know that you're going to make some points with that beautiful girlfriend remark right there, because she lit up when you said that. So we're here with second place, Sam Pritchard, and we know that you were just in that battle with Cole on the last lap. Tell us what it was like from your perspective.
Yeah, I got a great start and then decided to crash at the top of the hill, so that was a great idea. And then pretty well just on the back foot the whole day until the end when we battled, which sucked, but it was fun. So, good job to him. He was pushing the whole day, and yeah, I'm pretty blown out. So, but no, it was a good day other than that.
Well, and we saw you going into the last lap right before you guys went up the hill to do the step up. We saw you kind of look to the side, and it looked like you were a little bit shocked on this guy's not going away. So the persistence and everything, and how do you raise your game when it comes to the 90-minute race and then the last lap you have to go the fastest you've gone all day?
Honestly, I wasn't surprised at all because I trained with him during the week, so I know what he's capable of. So I knew it was going to come down to that. It wasn't really a question of if, it was just when he was going to try and make some passes, so it was tough. But just kind of, honestly, just it hurts, and he was probably hurting too, so you just got to, as long as you think that, like, that's all you can do really, is just hang on. So.
Well, and we heard a rumor that you had pit boss Bob and his crew back in your pits doing your pits this weekend. Is that true?
Yeah, we're going to need to come up with a pit strategy bonus, because he's actually put me 2 positions up for 2 races in a row with his strategy. So it's been working really good. Yeah, massive thanks to him. He's been doing an awesome job.
Yeah, that's going to be hard to get him in the van, get his big head in the van now and make his way home. But so great race. Congratulations on second place. Is there anybody else you'd like to thank?
Just the 3 bros, Hatch Racing, Husqvarna, Truly Designs, FMF, AME Grip, Scholar Hotel, Pod. Just everyone that helps out, Precision Concepts, Robbie Bell. Just everyone that's sort of played a part. It helps a lot.
All right, well, congratulations. And, Jack, it seems like we have another Precision Concepts Pro 2 podium sweep. And if I'm remembering right, you train with Robbie Bell as well. So we got a Precision Concepts, Robbie Bell podium sweep. Mason, back on top. You're used to being up here. I know a couple weeks ago you went back east and did some racing back east. It didn't go as well as what you thought. But today you got out front and you kind of made these guys chase you all day long. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad day. I got a not too bad of a start. I think it's around 5th or 6th. I seen Sam lay it down, and that was an easy pass. And then, just made my way forward and charged for a good hour, I think, to the pit. And, built that gap and, rode her in. And, it was a fun day. I enjoyed the track. It had a bit of everything. So, it was really good.
So we were talking about bike setup and everything like that. What did you go with? Did you just go with what you normally go with, or did you run a special setup just for this race?
I actually went a little stiffer today, and I think it was good for an hour, and I think the last 30 minutes it kind of caught up on me. But I'm glad I went that way just because I could push so hard at the start, make them passes, and Precision Concepts, they do an awesome job, and as you can see, they swept the podium. So happy with the way I went, and bike was phenomenal, and it was a good day.
All right, well, is there anybody else you'd like to thank for getting you here?
Yeah, the whole RPM KTM racing team, Mike, Carissa, Cameron, they do an awesome job and put together a really, really good program this year for me to be able to come out and do what I love to do. And, all the sponsors associated with the team, some personal sponsors, Precision Concepts, Robbie, Rhino Power, Trail Jesters, Power of the Mind, and just, everyone else that makes it possible. Friends and family back home watching. I know there's a lot of people watching, so, that motivates me to try my best every time I'm out here and keep putting this thing on top. So, thanks to everyone, and looking forward to the next one.
All right, well, there you have it. That's the Pro 2 podium. Another Precision Concepts Robbie Bell sweep, and we'll let them spray their champagne, and we'll be back with the women's pro.
Big congratulations to all of our Pro 2 podiums. What a great race it was. Mason Simmons heating up. He's going to be tough to beat. And, boy, I'm looking forward to 2026 when we see Mason out there on a 450. I think he's going to get very comfortable on top of that box. Great run by him and the Husqvarna boys. Congratulations, guys. Great performances as we get set to meet our women finishers, who also turned in impressive performances today from Mesquite MX. So happy that this round happened. Again, 2 months ago, didn't look like it was going to happen at all. And at the last minute, we were able to move mountains literally and host a race here, round number 4. Uh-oh, champagne coming out. Watch out. Oh, my goodness. Oh man. Our poor cameraman, Mike Bratowski, I think Brat, I'm sorry, you deserve extra pay for this one. Again, we do recommend a shower before the long drive back to Southern California if you don't want to smell like alcohol on the way home. He is doused with champagne. As we give you a look at NGPC Round 4 women results. Moto KK Nielsen coming home with the win, followed by Ava Silvestri, Ty Wolfslayer, and Dana Rayner. Love to see this women's category expanding. I'd like to see 10-plus bikes in this class one day. We got to keep pushing all these young ladies to get here. But Moto KK returns to form. She was sick in Glen Helen, got healthy, coming off a massive, massive performance abroad, getting ready for the SMX Women's Championship in the Outdoor Series. A fine performance by her and a fine performance by the 454 of the Silvestri sisters out there doing another great job. 813 coming home with a good run as well. So impressed with these young ladies. And as I mentioned before, big shout out to Moto KK's father, member of the Corona PD. Maybe he can help us get out of some of these DUI charges that may be coming from everybody smelling like champagne afterwards. And these girls, Mark, don't give them champagne. Give them Kool-Aid. They're all three of them too young to drink. But they certainly deserve the accolades. Let's send it down to Mark Tilley to hear from our lovely ladies.
That's not true. Ava's over here saying that she is legal. She just turned 21, so she might be celebrating a little bit later. But we are down here with the women's podium, and Miss Wolfslayer, you are getting used to being on the podium at these things because this is the second time I've seen you this season, I believe, maybe even the third time. Okay, so the second time you've been on the podium, and eventful race on this race. Kind of tell us how your race went.
It was good. I was pretty much by myself the whole time, and so I just tried to put down some consistent laps and ride as smooth as possible.
Now, when you are by yourself like that, what keeps you motivated to keep moving forward? I know when I get by myself, it's kind of okay, I'm out here by myself. But what kept you moving forward? Because you ended up on the podium.
I don't know, just trying to keep positive and just clicking off those laps, and I don't know, just being like, hey, we're on lap 7 or whatever, and just trying to finish it as fast as I can, even though it's no matter what an hour and a half. But
so now in your pits, who's in your pits telling you, giving you the pit board and telling you to keep going?
No pit board today, but my dad gassed me and my boyfriend dumped some water all over me, and that was enough.
Well, that sounds like fun. So is there anybody else that you would like to thank for getting you here?
Reflex Racing, Fast Company, Acherubies, my parents, Economy Floors, Precision Concepts, Pure Adrenaline, X Brand, Amy Grips, and everybody else that supports me.
All right. Well, congratulations on your third place. Hopefully we'll see you back up here. Are you going to go to Fox Raceway over in California?
If it's an NGPC, yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see you there, and hopefully you get on the podium there too. All right. And we're going to walk over here to the newly legal. And there looked like there was some moving around on your bike here, so maybe that's why you were going a little bit slower on the last lap, but we were kind of following you. But a strong second place finish. I know you've been doing a bunch of different racing here lately because I've been kind of following you to see what you're doing so I can remind you that you're doing great. So tell us about your race here at Mesquite.
The first lap or so was all right. Kind of towards the end, I tipped over, kind of ended up backwards on the track. It's not really ever great to crash on the first lap, but just kind of tried to keep the arm pump away and just focus forward because obviously we still had at least an hour 20 left. So just tried to, like I said, keep the arm pump away and started the second lap, thought it was going to be good, try to put a heater down, and then just kept finding myself on the ground, and I honestly just didn't even know what I was doing at that point. But I don't know. I ended up safe at the end of the round, so can't really complain. The whole time I was like, something's wrong with my rear end. I was like, my shock feels blown out, but I guess my subframe was just not attached. So found that out now, but like I said, whatever, second place again. So we know we got things to work on, so we're just going to have to pinpoint that and just keep working.
All right, that's actually really good. That's a really positive response for you, and I'm proud of you for doing that. So is there anybody that you'd like to thank for getting you here?
Big shout out to my dad. It's his birthday today, and of course, Gas, 395 Motorsports, FMF, Motion Pro, Dirt Tricks, Blood Lubricants, Guts, Troy Lee Designs, Fast Company, and just everyone else. Thank you.
All right, well, happy birthday to Ava's dad, and she got you a second-place finish, so you got to be happy about that. But we're looking at SLR Honda Michaela Nielsen, Moto KK as we like to call you. So you got over the being sick at the last round, and you kind of just put down some hot laps and then just kind of rode around by yourself. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, I got off to a good start and just tried to have a good first half of the race and just kind of not look back. And so rode pretty good first few laps and just try to manage the race for then. But, yeah, I had a good race, so it was pretty fun.
So now setting up your bike for this kind of, we know that you just got back from Australia, I believe, doing the Women's Cup over there, and I think you guys finished second. But setting up your bike for this and for this particular race, did you go more with the Moto setup? Did you change your setup, or did you just run what you normally run?
We made a few adjustments. We just kind of been chasing suspension, so we kind of got it dialed with some help, and then, so we got the best we could for today. So we had more of a off-road setup this weekend.
All right, well, is there anybody else you'd like to thank for getting you here?
I'd like to thank my mom and dad and everyone watching back at home, the whole SLR Honda crew. Shout out, they just won Baja, so it's pretty cool that they came back up here and supported the team. And good job for Tyler for the third place, and just everyone on this bike that gets us to every round and puts me up top of the box. So thank you.
All right, there you have it, Jack, the women's podium from here at Mesquite MX, and back to you.
Congratulations, ladies. Awesome, awesome performance out there. Always fun to watch you guys turn some very fast laps, and it was a fun race all around. Hopefully the ladies are a little bit more careful with the champagne. I don't know where we're going with this celebration. And thank you, Ava, for pointing out that she is of age to have a sip of that champagne if she wants. May I add, Moto KK has never had a sip of alcohol. We'll reaffirm that to her father right there. She's doing a great job. Great job by all of them. Ty Woolslayer, congratulations. You girls absolutely crushed it. We'll see you at Paula MX coming up. Hope to see you at the two-stroke net. Oh, no. Moto KK's putting on the goggles. This looks like when a baseball team wins the NLCS. Good thing Mark Tilley's not down there anymore. Oh, no. Who's she going to get? Maybe somebody wants to actually drink the champagne. Maybe that's what, now that we know Ava's old enough, she's got to ride out of here. She can have some. Oh, no! Oh, look at this Moto KK. Everybody getting doused with champagne. The sweet taste of victory. I think, you know what? I'm not going to bust Ava, but I think Ava saved about 3/4 of that bottle. She was very. Ava said, I'm not spraying.
I went down there and looked at her bike, and there was a couple missing bolts down there, and it's pretty amazing that she was able to get through the race like that. No telling how long it was like that, but very talented women down there, and I know I don't want to line up next to them, that's for sure.
Well, thank you so much, everybody. Thanks to Ross Fitz Production, our director, Scott McElmore, our entire team, NGPC, Desert MC, Mesquite MX. We'll see you at the Two-Stroke Nationals at Glen Ellen. We'll see you at round 5 of NGPC. Paula MX for Mark Tilley of Dirt Bike Magazine. I'm Jack Corbella from Racing Jack, and we'll see you at Paula.